everyone.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to LOCKBEARD Phenomena number 51, Independence Day 2022. How's it going? I see Mr. Lee, Patty Troy, Donald's here. Yeah, Donald, no worries there. I haven't had a chance to watch that entire. I don't want to watch his crap, Vault. But he mentioned you. He mentioned me, and he said he was lumping everybody, whatever the hell a hot pocket is. I don't know what he's talking about when he said. I don't know what the hell that is. And he said he's lumping everybody in with pedos for some damn reason. He talked about calling the FBI. If you call the FBI, they'll tell you to hide and hope that he don't get there before they do. He said like he it's just crazy. Um, he said he's warning us. He's been trained to kill and all that. It's just this dude's I don't know how the hell YouTube allows him to still be. I mean, he's clearly in violation of policy. He's making death threats to everybody, all kinds of people. So I don't know what his problem is. He's trying to set up this whole narrative that if he feels like he's threatened, right? Well, nobody here is threatening him. At least I'm not aware of anyone that's threatening him. But I feel like the way he acts, that if he sees the wrong person at like a conference somewhere, that he might literally attack them. And in his mind, he's created this narrative where somehow you are a threat to him. Well, Vault, I'm sorry you're such a goddamn pussy that you feel like I'm a threat to you. I'm just talking about your bullshit. That's just too fucking bad if you don't like it. You put out bullshit on the internet, people are entitled to respond. That does not make them a threat to you that justifies the violent threats that you have been making. So just fucking stop it, grow a set, and take criticism. Just do it, man. Take criticism. Stop thinking, I don't know what kind of seriously backwoods fucking play. I mean, it ain't like I didn't come out of some backwoods to some extent, or, I don't think I'm better than people necessarily, but there's some people that are so goddamn backwoods that they're in this mentality where they got to pump themselves up and make people scared. They feel bad, bigger and stronger or something if they make people afraid of them. Well, it's not goddamn working for one thing, Vault. And the reason why people keep challenging you is because you're acting like a goddamn idiot. And that's all that people see is that you're acting like a goddamn idiot. So just goddamn stop it. You don't want people talking about you, but you keep firing back. You said on that live stream, don't be coming on my channel, blah, blah, blah. I ain't coming on your channel. I know you were addressing people in general, but you had mentioned my name somewhere in the whole damn thing, as well as Donald's. And, I don't know what Donald's doing, but I'm not coming up in your chat. I have no desire to talk to the people in your chat as I see them and read them. Most of them are just so fucking sucked into your bullshit and living in a fantasy world that I would be wasting my time to try to talk to these people. They're in a dream world. They're not living in reality. I'm interested in the facts of these subjects, and you're interested in perpetrating a lie, scamming people. So screw you, Volt. But that's what was talking about, Donald. Mr. Lee says, Donald, hello. Foxes left another presents. Half chewed up cat collar. A half chewed up cat collar with a bell on the end. Holy shit, dude. Your foxes are getting serious. If they drag up a dead hound, you got problems, man. I'd be worried about the foxes. Yeah, more threats, Mr. Lee. Angel Nolan's here. Welcome. Yeah, well, I mean, the scary thing is this dude might show up at a conference and he's got it all set up in his head that somehow people are a threat to him that just aren't. That's what the whole deal about the curse was, right? Because they were talking about, oh, you're affected people's families and stuff like that. What was like, I forget the guy's name that supposedly cursed them, but this group of people were convinced that this dude cursed them, and so now, so when they're thinking shit like that, actually believing shit like that, yeah, they could be a real physical threat to you if they see you somewhere, because they're fucking nuts. Unless someone can prove curses worked. Maybe we should perform one right here sometime. We'll throw a curse at Vault. Maybe we'll talk about that. Patty Troy, welcome. Ben T says Arg, welcome. Is he in pain? Has Ben been in pain? What's up with Ben? Change directions, probably. Well, if he's changed directions, it's been in the last 3 days, 4 days, because the stuff I was just talking about was just 3 days ago, 4 days ago, something like that. So if anything's getting worse, because he's labeled, I'll probably have to go back and look at the thing. I'll put it on high speed so I don't have to. I can listen to him slightly chipmunked out, and maybe with adequate alcohol, I can bear to listen to him for half an hour instead of an hour. But I have a feeling he's accusing someone of that word, that the pedo word, who is not truly guilty of it. And as you recall, like, I was a little confused. He's saying it wasn't him. That what's her nut cat. That cat came in here saying that she was talking about dark sewage, dark waters, dark sewage, not Vault. Those two, Vault and dark sewage, are part of the same little group of dipshits anyway. But anyway, that she was calling him the P word, calling him, and you remember, I'm like, well, I don't know anything about that. I haven't heard anything about that. I haven't seen any proof of that. I'm not going to jump on a bandwagon, labeling someone as well anything, if I don't know that that's what they really are, or have pretty reasonable. That's a pretty serious one. Saying someone's probably a hoaxer is a far cry from calling someone the P word. So, yeah. Patty, you don't watch that fella? Yeah, you don't want to watch him anyway. Mr. Lee. Right now, I'm observing the Golden Gate Bridge, San Francisco, big screen, shark infested waters. Angel Nolan says, Mr. Lee, I think I tried to watch it once. Didn't last long before I just turned it off. He's ugly. Says Mr. Lee. Huge stingray swam under me once in the Andaman Sea. Scared the hell out of you. Donald Fuller. Already said hi. Talk to you a little bit if you just jump back in. I don't know if you jumped out and jumped back in. Ben T says, I don't know. A Vault sounds like I'm not missing much. Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's nuts. They're way on the woo side of things and just lying to people, and I think they're lying. A lot of people think they're lying. Trying to generate funds to, apparently one of them in that whole group is putting cameras on their house, right? Because they claim Bigfoot's coming around their house. So, I mean, it looks to some like they are, just getting a home security system funded by the Bigfoot community. Don't know if that's true. He hasn't stopped with his bullcrap. See, I don't even know about last night, Don. The one I saw part of was from 4 days ago. Was Judy Wheeler on someone's show? Says Ben. Mr. Lee says, I don't know. Was she? I think she was. Donald says he killed 2 Gugway in Washington State. Yeah, you were saying it on the Tall Ones live from the woods with Peanut Butter Man. uh, Peanut Butter Man. Um, Turd Man. He has turd. He has turd too, supposedly. The other guy that was with him, Tristan. But anyway, yeah, I saw you mention about him saying he killed 2 Gugway. Man, he's gonna go right down the route of Old Bear, claiming he's killed like what did he say, 3 of these? He shot 3 of these, 3 Bigfoot or some shit. And you ain't got so much as a tuft of hair from the body. Nothing. You couldn't cut a foot off or something. Nothing. 3 times you shot one. Seriously? Pay choices. Okay, Donald, I don't want to pay too much attention to him, but I don't want him to get away with his BS either. Yeah, that's the thing, man. I'm sick of them assholes getting away because they've been intimidating people for a long fucking time. Sick of it. We all just need to just challenge the motherfuckers. All those motherfuckers. You know? And I don't care that Dark Sewage apologized to Nikki. Dude, come right up in the live stream and said what he said. And I'm glad she had the presence of mind to just immediately throw up the flag right there, live. He deserved a lot worse. I don't care that he apologized. He can fuck off. I don't think even if he did, it's is it sincere? You know. Patty Troy says, I reported I don't want to be a Karen, but holy shit. Yeah, he's like constantly like threatening people. Like he thinks he's coding it enough where he's cool, but he's clearly threatening violence against people and setting up this narrative of how he can justify becoming violent towards them. He's saying he's set up to find up people's IP addresses and figure out where they are. Well, if you're trying to find out where someone is, that means you're planning on going and finding this person to do something to them. This motherfucker is either just trying like hell to sound like he's some kind of badass because the only way he can feel strong and important is if he's got people scared of him, or he truly is dangerous and he needs to be fucking dealt with legally, you know. Lowriders here, welcome. Says I just got here. Who's like we're talking about? Unfortunately, we got on the subject of Vault. Ruthless says, good day, Lucky. Welcome to you guys. No threats from me, but he is the one goofy prick that makes me laugh. Ruthless says, it's like a typhoon here in Sydney. Is it really? I guess it's, in the news that your honeybees are under threat down there now. You got the varroa mite. So it's going to be a rough ride, because in America when we got them, it killed a lot of colonies, tremendous amount of colonies. Now the bees are starting to get the genetics to be able to deal with them better. So instead of your government, now I guess your government should try to slow down the spread by not allowing anyone to move any colonies, and maybe euthanize the wild ones, like make an effort to find all the wild ones and euthanize them and treat the shit out of the colonies that are, in a proper box kept by a beekeeper. Educate all the beekeepers to be exceedingly careful to ensure that there no swarming happens, and all you got to do is make splits. Give them plenty of room in a box and split. If As long as you don't have to let a swarm happen. The bees won't swarm unless you make you create the situation in the boxes, because they're going to keep growing, right? This is a good thing. This is what they're supposed to do. Um, people complain about them swarming sometimes. No, this is a good thing. Your bees are healthy and growing, and to make new colonies, they, some of them get up and leave and go make another one somewhere else. Well, if you split the colony, give them both the two new colonies, you have the old one and the new one, then they won't swarm. But speaking of honeybees, well, she got out here, but she got a good look at her. They got sugar spilled here and stuff, and they come in and sent here for, like, they're back there. There's like 6 swarm catch boxes, so they smell that. There's some comb back there, wax. They smell that and they come in here. Anyway, so that's what the government there should be doing. But what they should be doing is immediately order as many resistant genetic queens from America as possible. Ship them all over here on the way. Have them thoroughly inspected. Uh, uh, if you have to manually pull a mite off of a queen sometime, how often you can really have to do that. But maybe even treat them. Maybe use the treatments to try and prevent any more mites from coming in. But you already got mites, so it really doesn't matter. What you need is the genetics. And before your colonies start collapsing, give them new queens. The new queens will be laying the eggs with the resistant DNA, and hopefully you don't have near the honeybee apocalypse that we had here. But if your government does not allow you guys to ship in as many of these resistant queens as possible, you will have collapsed colonies everywhere, and you'll have a lot more damage to your agricultural system, because so many crops require pollination. And so that's off topic for this. But Mr. Lee says, lowrider Volt man. Someone is butthurt on the interwebs. Mr. Ruthless, yes. Living in a fantasy world, yeah. They is, man. Well, I don't know that they're truthers. I mean, what the hell is a truther, though? Some of them are people that believe wacky shit, and some of them are people that believe, certain things that are true. Ruthless says those people seem to think they are selected for greatness. Perform magic. Angel says, "Lockbeard, the curse will work if the person being cursed believes it works." Yeah, it's just psychosomatic. It's just like the government 2 years ago told everybody you were going to get sick, and people were like, "Oh, I don't think that was flu. It felt different." Dude, you had the fucking flu. Okay, there is no proof, none. I've tried telling people, look, provide me one piece of actual proof. First, apparently, half of America needs to go fucking learn what actual proof is. You need to go fucking learn what actual proof is, and then provide me with one piece of actual proof that the disease actually exists, other than, oh, they gave me the test and it said positive. So Elon Musk took the same test 4 times with the same nurse, same test. Got 2 positives, 2 negatives. It's literally a coin flip, whether you got a positive or negative. At least for his little small sample size, but it was something. And I think he was trying to tell people something. It's like, this test doesn't tell you shit. It doesn't. So you're all believing you have it based on the test, and the test don't tell you shit. Well, okay, what's your other proof? Do you have any proof whatsoever the damn thing even existed? Did you see dead people in the street? Because they showed us videos on the news of people dead in the fucking street. Didn't see it. None of it. I saw people panicking as far as, they were spooked by the news and the government. Fucking bullshit. But yeah, a lot of people, I think, did actually get sick because they were convinced they were going to get sick. And a small percentage of them may have died because they were stressed and psychosomatically prompted to get sick. Some of them tested and didn't test positive anyway. A lot of people that had the jab died. That's being kind of kept a little bit quiet, but people know it's coming out. This whole damn thing's going to be exposed as a scam, and I hope everyone fucking remembers. Everyone that said I was just crazy for not believing, because again, you got to show me some goddamn proof of some shit. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Something else is going on. I think a lot of this is they just convinced people, and it spooked them to the point that they actually experience, because you can actually experience symptoms of disease if you're convinced you're going to get the disease. If the news is telling you you're going to experience these symptoms, there's going to be a certain percentage, even people who think they're immune to it. Not everyone is not immune to it. Even no matter how intelligent you think you are, it doesn't matter. It can affect you. It can affect you. You never know. You just, the sooner this bullshit's exposed, the better. How do you make a curse on someone like Beard? Well, I mean, it depends on the tradition you're going with, Mr. Lee. Um, draw yourself a pentagram upon the ground, some herbs and whatnot. Some black candles. There's people describe that shit online if you want to know. I mean, it's generally not recommended because shit can bounce back on you. Strongly not recommended. Donald says the military gave him 27 shots that turned him into a super soldier. Is that what a super soldier looks like? Or says YouTubers are clearly oh shit. Yeah, I had someone jump on me for using that word the other day, and I'm like, you know what? We made fun of each other with that word when I was a kid all the time. Back in the day where we kind of had the idea, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Instead of today where everybody's so fucking offended by every goddamn word, it's insane. Oh, you physically injured me. Grow a set, grow a thick skin. It'll be all right. The reality is 99% of the people who have used the word retarded like as an insult or someone would never treat a truly retarded person badly. They wouldn't. That goes for a lot of insult words that people are like, oh, that Mark. No. Just chill. There's time for jokes and there's time for goddamn reality. Try to keep the two. Lost his marbles. Yeah. They want to believe. Yeah, they want to believe Ruthless. Nothing more than a goof. Boggles the mind just how deluded people in YouTube have become last 5 or 6 years, especially. Oh yeah, I mean it's gotten nuts. I mean, shit, we have a resurgence in flat earthers for fuck's sake. I mean, these people, and they're out there helping spread the disease, this mental disease that is the belief that the earth is flat, gaslighting the shit out of people. They throw enough bullshit, I'm sorry, Connor don't even come in here anyway, but Connor, that's what he does. He just throw, oh, what about this and that and blah, blah, and he just throws so much shit at you, and before it's over, you can't really, even if you got him to shut up and stop on one point and allow you to properly debunk that point, he won't accept it. He'll come up with some other angle where he can make you question the reality. And I think this is horrible. This is horrible. If this gets into the minds of children, you've sabotaged their education forever. You've probably destroyed their lives in some cases. This is a crime in my book. You do not teach flat earth bullshit to children. So hopefully none of these fools are teaching that shit to children. Ben T says super soldier like in Mind Control Victim. Perhaps it's pretty nuts. He identifies a cat. Mr. Lee says people always been deluded. YouTube gives them a platform for their delusions. Mogs, he says, so what did I miss? What's up, everyone? Welcome to the chat, Mogs. He didn't miss anything too horribly great, I don't think. Ruth says Mr. Lee's got it worse since 2015. Yeah. Yo, Memorex. Are you real? Are you Memorex? I don't know, dude. The other day you sounded like you were like you had been hijacked, like on Facebook. Like I got one of my Facebook friends. Somehow there are 5 profiles on Facebook that they stole his pictures, and he's only got one profile. I contacted him. So he's like, "Oh no, I only got one profile." Well, you got 5 profiles out there, and they're trying to sell people on some kind of government grant or something like that, and throwing around numbers and stuff like that, money. So when I saw that, I was like, I know Joe was just kind of talking about something related to this, but this is sounding like somebody got hacked or or a fake profile was made. And then it seemed like you were responding to people that you weren't actually talking to. You were typing in their name. So that's why I thought you were possibly your profile, a fake profile had been made of you or something. Angel says hi to Mogs. Accelerated since TikTok. Yeah, TikTok's stupid, man. Here, Kitty says Mr. Lee. I'll try and catch up in this chat. Rutha says, I like it when people think it hurts me by not talking to me. Yeah. Put their jackets on back to front. Evening, Grasshoppers here. Welcome. It says, evening, all you cray crypto weirdos. Yes, it's spreading. It seems bee parasite. Yeah. Well, and the mite, the varroa mite, causes the bees to get diseases. It spreads diseases, and then that ends up killing whole colonies. Sometimes Moonbat's claiming it's chemtrailing. Jay Fritz is here. Welcome. Rutha says Australia is very anal about flora and fauna. Well, if they were really serious about shit, but here's the deal. You guys got introduced species such as the camel. Camel is a big freaking animal. You could easily just, isn't Australia half populated with crocodile Dundees? It would not be anything for you guys to just shoot all of those, but you can't seem to get rid of them. You can't get rid of the rabbits. You can't get rid of the dingoes. The dingoes are introduced species, and they're probably part of the reason why, if the Tasmanian tiger's still there, it's having a hard time making a comeback, or it would have a hard time making a comeback if it was there, because those dingoes have taken over its niche. You need to get rid of all the dingoes. Sorry for the dog lovers, but the dingo is just a goddamn mutt that they turn loose down there. That's all it is. It's not a native species. What else? The cane toad. You need to get rid of that fucking thing. Anyway, y'all can't get rid of all that. And they actually think they're going to contain the varroa mite? Are they fucking serious? One bee from one feral colony with a female mite on it could fly 5 miles away and infect the next colony. And it just goes from there. You're not Australian government. Listen to me. You are not going to contain the varroa mite infestation. You're not going to do it. It ain't going to fucking happen. It can't be goddamn done. You guys can't even control something like a camel, and you think you're going to control this itty bitty mite. Not going to fucking happen. Yes, try to slow it down right now, but while you're trying to slow it down, you need to get to the real plan. The real plan is the queen bees, the resistant queen bees. You need to order all. Hey, I wish I had some. I wish I could sell them, but the beekeepers that do have them and sell them, you guys, you guys need to do. You guys need to do like um, um, super accelerated splitting of colonies to make as many queens as you can, and then using the racks and stuff like that too. But make as many queens as you can, like real fast. Like get it done, get it fucking done, because Australia is going to need them, or they're going to experience as bad a collapse as we did. And we can help them. We can stop this if their government don't start saying away. See, the government always fucking it's always government standing in your way. Hopefully they get smart. Hopefully they realize that we're not going to buy into their bullshit when it comes to this. They need to order the queens in now. Now. Ruth says supposition bees came with parasite and shipping. Yeah. Yeah. Although, one could theorize that since the governments have been apparently trying to collapse our food supply in multiple different ways. I know some people aren't following this. Our government's been trying to cause artificial circumstances that will lead to starvation, bread lines, all kind. They're trying to create that scenario. They're doing it on purpose. There's no way you can explain away all this shit. So what if the Australian government, one of their plans was to release Varroa, cause massive colony collapse, which means you can't pollinate your crops near as well anyway, and then you run out of food down there in Australia as well. Don't have any evidence for that. I'm just saying I wouldn't put it past them, and they would just tell us a cover story that sounds legit, like some bees landed on a shipping container and ended up crossing the sea. Could have happened. The crown of thorns starfish in ballast water in big boats decades ago. Um, well, here in our freshwater lakes, we had the zebra mussel that was able to hijack in people's ballast water in their boats, and they tried containing that too. Did it work? No. There was no way it was going to work. There was no way it was going to work. They were going to contain something like that without seriously curtailing people's rights. And it kept spreading and kept spreading. And I don't know what the status is now, but if it isn't pretty much everywhere it wants to be right now, it's going to be pretty soon. It's little clam-like zebra mussels. Mr. Lee says some bees play dead. I don't know how many bees have been stung like that. Yeah, I think I'll lean back on one earlier. Talk to shipping queens and try bottle the parasite. Talk of shipping in queens to try and battle the parasite. Yeah, that's what they need to do immediately. Ruth says the truth is someone with a broken filter. They lack discernment, spend way too much time listening to moonbat ideas. Mr. Lee says it came from bats. What came from bats? I'm not sure what you're talking about there. But you talking about the moonbat stuff? Psychosomatic. Oh, you're talking about the. Oh, I'm pretty far back in the comments, ain't I? Psychosomatic. Use the term retards analogy for the motor with a misfire and a poor timing. Ben says curses are empowering and send demonic entities to attack people. Flurfology, yeah. They're dumb as fuck. Mr. Lee says, yes, like where Facebook did steal all my girlfriend's pictures, so I closed my accounts many years ago. Yeah. Yeah. And those Facebook will always have them, Mr. Lee. They maintain that record for the CIA or some shit. I don't know. But they keep all your shit. Your private messages are not private. The government's got them. Chessport says, Lockbeard, they were talking about how you are treated when you go to withdraw your moolah from the banks. Maybe why you thought that. Frogs? Talking about for curses, Mr. Lee. Rutho says, yep, a long time ago they tried to make early Australia like EU after the colonies arrived. Jay's talking too much. Rutho says, we had a fruit fly in North Queensland only. They set up a zone to try and combat it. It failed. Those tiny fruit fly are all over now. Yeah. There's Nikki. Welcome. Nitty gritty. Well, we mentioned a little bit of that Volt's bullshit, and then the honeybee. Australia is about to have a honeybee apocalypse, but hopefully American beekeepers can help them stop the worst of it. Ruthless says, yeah, I suppose it could have been purposely brought here to crush bees. I doubt anyone up front in government would do it, but from our shadow government, every country has, yeah. I'm not saying they would do it openly, but I wouldn't put it past them. I wouldn't put it past them to do something snaky like that. Mr. Lee says, Nikki, we're talking about Bolt, who his next girlfriend going to be, I reckon, DDoS. DDoS? DDoS? Ruthless says, good day. Angel says, Herman hoaxes and hoodwinks. Well, hellos. There's Jay, the man who's packing some heat. So, in the thumbnail, do you guys recognize you recognize what that alien picture is from? And then also the Bigfoot picture. Surely you know what that's from. Surely you know what that's from. Man, I really don't want to put Volt's face on the screen to show you some of what he said. Y'all can go see it. Maybe another day I will. I don't know. It's just, does this guy, how does he think he can say this shit? Hopefully I don't get. Mr. Lee says, oh no, he's ugly. Mr. Lee says, oh no, he's ugly. Yeah. Rutha says, will be interesting to see if places that produce Manuka honey get affected by parasite. If that happens, leads further to purposeful, in your opinion? It maybe, maybe. I mean, I just think Varroa was going to spread no matter what. It was just going to happen. Like the shipping container thing, the shipping thing is, that's how we get all kinds of shit comes over on fruits, vegetables, and like the bees. A colony, a swarm of bees could have just landed on a shipping container, or started making its colony in one somehow, and ended up loaded on the ship. They may not have even went over on the ship. They might have got loaded on the ship. Now, how they were able to stay on there so long without any food, Maybe they found a shipping crate full of sugar. I don't know. Something. And then how the crew didn't notice. Like if you got bees on your ship, you're gonna fucking know it. Unless you were just that goddamn oblivious. So they say. That's why they think. That's what they think. Lucky a hive of rogue wild bees brought it here. Yeah. Hey, the good thing is that that colony of bees brought a little bit of the genetics that you need to deal with the varroa mite. They got a lot. They got a ways to go to become more resistant, but the bees here have started to be able to deal with it. The problem is when you try to keep a colony in one place for long periods of time. I think that what you end up happening, like in a tree, like I don't think those colonies stay in that tree for a decade. I think they go in there, they last a while, but then they have to leave. They have to abscond because they get attacked by all the parasites, and then they go start a new colony somewhere and try to survive that way. Um, with beekeepers keeping them, they can they can help them to stay longer in that in their box. Um, but I don't think that's how it works out in the woods at all. I don't know what the research really is on it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't last, but you know, very long. They got to move, and then after all the parasites clear out, then another group comes in and lives in there for a little while, but then they have to move out again, and just an endless cycle. Chessboard says depopulation. If you don't understand it, what can I say? Yeah, and the thing is I agree with them that there's too many people on the planet, but you cannot violate the rights of the people to deal with the issue. You need to come up with ways to deal with it that doesn't violate people's rights. Now, the West, well, pretty much all the European countries and the United States and Australia, all those countries already are naturally having fewer kids than is necessary to replace the prior generation. In fact, some of them, the birth rates are so low, their populations, if it was a wild animal, would be considered plummeting towards extinction. The overpopulation issue is not in the United States unless you're counting the immigrants who have a high birth rate. When you're talking, from Muslim countries and from Latin countries, they have high birth rates down there. But the and you could talk about the reasons behind it. The statistics are the statistics. I don't know what to tell you. They are what they are. The fact is every Caucasian population on the planet is plummeting towards extinction because they're having fewer kids. Now, this is an average. You look down the street and you see someone that has 6 kids, but there's people that don't have any kids. There was someone that lived down the street from where I used to be. They didn't have any kids, but they talked about their kids. You know what their kids were? Their kids' headstones were in the yard. Well, the ones that were dead. They were their dogs. They had granite headstones for their dogs. These people had multiple lake houses. They were very well off, and they chose not to have kids. The average birth rate is so low that if nobody does anything, if nothing changes, um, Caucasian people in the United States would have pretty much gone extinct within a couple hundred years if nobody does anything to change that trajectory. And the same is true for all the European countries, all of them. So the rest of the world, I mean, if we're worried about overpopulation, needs to look at that and say, okay, what is it about these places that they are having so much fewer kids? It's a cultural thing. I think part of it has, well, it's a big subject, but yeah, they want to drop the population, but they're hitting the wrong people. The people in Europe and America are already plummeting towards extinction. You don't need to get them to depopulate. They're doing it anyway. Like naturally. It's just happening. We're just doing it. You need to look at the other areas of the world where people just keep having kids and keep having kids and don't stop. Nikki says, who's going live tonight? Well, hold on a second. I probably need to do some updates because a couple people changed some stuff on the Paranormal TV Guide. Just a second. See if it's been thinking load. And it's taking its time. We'll have to wait on that. Donald says, not sure if B is Nikki. Yeah, he hasn't been consistently on at 8 o'clock. I don't know what his plan is in that regard, but yeah. We got a new name here. Dirty Gertie's Chocolate Death Star. Are you Muslim, brother? No. It's polarization thing, says Ruthless. Yeah. You're live tonight. You live in a van because you think the way you do, deluded. Oh shit. We got some of the Vault crew up in here trying to troll. You're alive too, Mr. Lee says. Dirty Gertie's try. Anus all, man. Anus all. Yeah, Ruthless makes up words, man. So you just got to figure out what he's trying to say to you. So who are you really, Dirty Gertie? Who are you really? Who are you? Why are you trying to come in here? Ruthless says, "Dirty, cry me a river, you tit turd." So I don't know if you guys can see. Daily Dan's here. He says, greetings from South Carolina. Ruthless says, anus sol is for butt hurt. It's a cream. Look it up. Yeah. Dirty Gertie. All right. Why are you afraid to show your name or your real identity? You're a supporter of Gert Vikster. She is a streamer. She is our leader. Really? Whatever. So yeah. So Fridays. Let me see if I can get this to a little bigger so you can see it. Or sorry, Saturday. It's gonna have to be bigger. Like you can see, like Central Florida Bigfoot used to be on 8 o'clock on Saturdays, but he isn't consistently now. Creepy Little Book is on at 10 tonight, Central Time. These are all in Central Time on mine. You'll have to convert them. You can see here at the top, Central Time. You add 6 hours for London, add 17 hours for Sydney. So that'll get you. Hopefully, it'll get you close to what you got, what your time zone is. Paranormal Portal, which I do not recommend. Shit's too goddamn woo over there. Spaced Out Radio, same thing. Too damn woo over there. I don't know what's going on with Talking Weird. UFO Man will be on right after we're done at 8. We try to get done at 8 here. And UFO Man's pretty cool. Then you have the Gray Zone Uncensored is already off, I think. Yeah, it should be over. Unearthly Wanderings and What the Paranormal comes on at 8, or at least it was. It may not be anymore. People change stuff, and of course, nobody tells me. Nobody tells me. And I don't do a lot of hunting for, to make sure anymore. So yeah, there's not a lot going on Saturday nights, but there's some. Oops. This thing is so spastic. So I don't know. Maybe Central Florida be on. We'll see. Maybe I don't know if I'll be over there at UFO Man. I don't go over there a lot, but he's all right. Whoops. Did I say UFO Man? Yeah. There we go. Catch up in the chat. Dirty Hesolator. Yeah, these people, man. Check her out. She is an AMA, lives in a bungalow, not a van. Well, whatever. If you want to live in a bungalow, and live in a bungalow. I'll live wherever the fuck I want. Some people do it because they have to. Some people do it because they want to. Depending on what's going on, depends on when I've been and what I've been doing. Like originally, when I downsized, I was when did it really start? It was a long time ago. I was living in like this big 3-bedroom house, and it's just like, why do I need all this shit? Start downsizing, end up living in a little lake cabin. What was it, like 400 square feet, I think. And then I downsized to a travel trailer, and then pretty soon I was downsized beyond that. Like I wasn't going back to my travel trailer every night. It stayed out on my land. And anyway, the van life is a thing. There's a lot of people doing it, and so I mean, if it makes you feel good to shit on people because you think it makes you bigger and better than them somehow, go right ahead. I guess. I don't know. I don't really give a fuck what you think. I don't know who you are. You apparently don't have the balls to give your real name. That really says, I bet you're Foss Curtis. I don't know who the hell that Gert Vixer is, so whatever. Never heard of him. Her or whatever. Don't give a shit. Stupid autocorrect. Life is a trackway. Welcome. He says, "Oh, every time I check in here, something unusual is going on." It's Imperial Van, yeah. Angel says hi to Trackway. You feel sorry for the van seat, huh? Okay. Life is a trackway. There's a tall one. Saw some of your live earlier, Brent. Welcome to the chat. You missed everything. Well, you make it sound like it was all kind of something. Rutha says, "Don't be sorry, Gertie. You also have to die one day, and no one gets out alive, you pleb." Rutha says, "Gertie's you shit at the in between." Oh, not much. Talked about some little bit of vaults nonsense, and then because some of these guys are in Australia, so brought up the honeybee apocalypse going down in Australia. It'll hit. It's coming. They're trying to contain the contamination, but it ain't gonna stop. Dirty says he murdered his seat in cold blood. Okay. Preoccupied with boat rebuilds. Awesome, man. Chessboard says, "Lockbird and all have a great 4th weekend." You too, Chessboard. Thanks for coming. Jay says, "I've been putting new pool screen on. Found out I suck at it." Well, yeah, you gotta find out somehow. Rutha says, "Yes, Lockheed doesn't have a leader like you, Gertie. He's unlike you, the lemming." Yeah, I am the leader. The humans of Earth do not, or just haven't figured out who's the true ruler of this planet. Until they do, that won't save them. They'll all die. It's their own fault. For a pool table, Jay? A pool table? I thought he was talking about a swimming pool. Whatever. Tallman says van living is becoming popular. There's some nice setups out there. Yeah. Yeah, there's one girl, like, she's insanely popular. She lives in the van with her pet snake. Pool, says Jay. Jay Fritz, I will come by later and help you. Mr. Hughes here, welcome. Jay says, on anal. What? Anal. Life says tiny homes is a thing. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at some point, I think a lot of people are looking around thinking, why do I need all this? There's a lot of space here. I'm just paying to heat it and cool it. Probably paying rent accordingly or house payment accordingly. You're paying property taxes accordingly. You're having to clean all of it. Everything's got to be dusted, right? Well, don't gotta. So they start moving into smaller stuff. So they're thinking, you gotta like stop thinking that. I think a lot of people feel like they need to keep up with the Joneses or something, or for whatever reason they think they need all it. You don't need all this. You really don't. People used to live on a frontier in a single room house with 12 kids. You know, Jay says he needs some help from Mr. Lee. I don't know. I keep telling Mr. Lee like Mogs needs a co-host, and Mr. Lee keeps slacking on that. You know, so he's not helping. He's not helping Mogs. So I don't know if he'll help you. Ruthless says I'd live in a van with my 2 cats. I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could do that. I used to keep a lot of pets, but nowadays I don't really. I just don't. Great weekend. In a van down by the river. Yeah. I wonder if I could find that clip. Bet I can. Yep. I do believe I can. Hold on a second. We'll get that up.
Hey, Mom, Dad.
Brian, Stacy, your mother Ellen and I are so glad you decided.
Thank you for was in the bucket.
Crack.
And where are you? I get past this crap.
His name is Matt Foley. Now he's been down in the basement drinking coffee for about the last 4 hours, and he should be all ready to go. I'll call him up. Matt, we're ready for you. His speech is called "Go For It." Now he's used to big groups, so make him feel like there's a crowd here. Matt, come on up, baby! Good.
Now, as your father probably told you, my name is Matt Foley, and I am a motivational speaker. Now, let's get started by letting me give you a little bit of a scenario of what my life is all about. First off, I am 35 years old. I am divorced, and I live in a van down by the river.
Chessboard says it's your move. Life says vans would be great for traveling hunter, but it's hard to find one now with a decent tow rating. Yeah. Well, this one's a 92 Chevy. I don't know what its tow rating is, but it's got a hitch on it, so I could probably tow something. You know. Oh, stupid thing. Go back. Go. It's 10 a.m. down under, says Ruthless. Life says, without honeybees, we're dead. Well, it would definitely change your food system. Like a lot of crops would be really hard to get pollinated. There's an area in Asia where all the honeybees died out. And so the people hand pollinate each individual flower on these. I think it's pear trees. Of course, people here aren't going to be ready to do that. Now, if you're eating a proper human all meat diet, this is not a big issue for you if the honeybees can't pollinate shit, because you don't need shit that's pollinated, right? The grass is wind pollinated, and it'll be fine. And the grazers eat that stuff. So then you just eat the cows. It's not a death sentence. It's just that most people, like most of humanity, is not used to not eating plant-based foods at all, and there would be an adjustment period. But they would have to. It would happen. They would be able to do it, and everyone will find if you eat nothing but meat, you end up eating less food overall because your hunger levels go way down, and your nutrition is being properly satisfied, so you don't need to eat as much food. If you eat meat with plants, well, you're getting a bunch of anti-nutrients and stuff that's interfering with your digestion. So you get less out of the meat because you ate it with plants. But if you just eat the meat and eat all the fat on it too, you're way better off. Ritha says, rain stop, need coffee. Ben says, had a Ford E350 with a diesel engine. It could tow. Dirty says, Lockbeard swarm of flies could pollinate half of Alabama alone. Well, that's nice of you. Ritha says, going to head off, Locky. Thanks for having me. Going to get coffee. Enjoy the evening, mate. You too, Ruthless. Enjoy the honeybee apocalypse down there. Life says he's a F-150 kind of going minimalist here. See you later. Be good to each other. Most of us are trying. Mitch Lee says, see you, Ruthless. Tall one says, Dirty, are you a 12-year-old? Yeah, Dirty probably is a little child. Says for go play on the highway, Ruthless. So that's nice. Dirty, you're just such a nice, pleasant person. Jay says, don't get personal, Gerby. Dirty says, I'm 48 and a half. 48 and a half what? Is that your height? You're 4 feet tall? Or are you talking about months? Are you 48 months old? You're 4 years old? Ben says Mr. Lee would be a good co-host. Yeah, we just got to get Mr. Lee to jump on Mogs, man. Just run with it. Just run with it. Life says, I'd like the 4x4 F-150 with a rooftop tent now with either a boat or utility trailer behind now. Thomas says, you're acting like a kid. They aren't even funny. Yeah. Well, it's probably, I don't know. They said something about someone named Victor or something. I don't know. I don't even recognize. I mean, I know the name Vic. So I'm wondering if there's a connection there, but I certainly don't give a shit because all those people, all they do is promote bullshit stuff. Like they're not about the legit stuff. Mr. Lee says, Ben T, I'm too shy. It would be a shit show. Telling you, man. It'd be fine, Mr. Lee. It'd be fine. Ben T says there was a 4x4 conversion for Ford E-Series vans somewhere. Just trolling, huh? Have a great evening. Alrighty then. Mr. Lee says, Dirty Gerties, you're not very good. Donald says, just came back from the store. Who is Dirty Gertie? Self-admitted troll. Ben T says, some troll. Life is a trackway says, still need fruit pollinators or it's Scurvy City tooth spit. No, actually it wouldn't be Scurvy City at all. That's been the myth all along. There is vitamin C in meat. In fact, if you don't eat any carbohydrate foods at all, your need for vitamin C goes down because the molecular structure of vitamin C and glucose are so similar that they compete for absorption in the body. So if you don't eat any carbs, then you need way less vitamin C. Add that to the fact that there is vitamin C in meat. The problem is people get their steak well done instead of extremely rare, and cooking destroys vitamin C. But in nature, humans ate meat raw, so yeah, so they had their vitamin C. On back in the day on the ships, when people uh, got scurvy, they would give them fresh meat because that's what cured scurvy, because there's vitamin C in fresh meat. So yeah, you don't need fruit at all. It's just completely not needed. um, Mr. Lee says, Lockbeard, what do animals eat? Vegetables, though, grass. Yeah, but grass isn't bee pollinated. I'm not saying it wouldn't be bad for a lot of creatures. I'm just saying we would survive it. We'd get through it. It wouldn't mean extinction of humanity, although it might mean food shortages for a while until people get readjusted to eating a purely meat diet. And the global food consumption would drop so drastically if everyone went to meat that it's just stupid. It's just it, because I was measuring whenever I was learning this stuff and switched over. I was measuring like everything. I was weighing all my food. I was writing down all this information, and doing my gym lifting and all my lifts, and how many reps, how much weight. Everything was being just way too scrutinized, and but it gave me the information I needed to see that I was eating. Once when I switched to all meat, my hunger levels went down so much that I was eating 25 to 30%, somewhere in that range, of the amount of food in a day that I did before. It basically amounted to about a pound of fatty red meat a day. So we're looking at, and I was skipping some days. On occasion, I would skip a day. So, but let's just say that amounts to 365 pounds of food a year. Your average American's eating somewhere like, I think USDA's numbers like around 600 pounds is the average. So that's between, that's the average of men, children and women. I'm sure the number for men is higher than that, of course, but I don't know what that number is. All I know is that I was down to 25 to 30% of the amount of food I was eating before, and I was not hungry, and I did not need to eat every day. Like, I could skip a day, and the hunger that I experienced after 48 hours of not eating was lower than I used to get. Like, first thing in the morning, I'd have to have something when I was a carbivore all the time, and I wasn't adjusted to this stuff. I was so ravenously hungry first thing in the morning. 2 hours, 3 hours later, lunchtime, man, I got to eat. I can't think about anything. I have to eat. Is because it's like a damn drug. Carbs are like a drug, and you know this. But the other things in plants are also to be concerned. Not just the carbs. There's anti-nutrients. There's things that, like the fiber, you don't need the fiber. All the fiber does is pack you so full of indigestible stuff that you just, the pressure, I think, just pushes the shit out. You're supposed to move things through the muscular activity, the proper gut motility, and that's crippled by the toxins in the food that people eat all the time. So because you're not supposed to eat plants. Looking for a Ford conversion. You hate the Chevy one you bought? Yeah, this is a Chevy conversion. Life says, neighbor just bought a 40-foot four-side RV. Talk about roughing it. Yeah, that's not camping. But I ain't gonna give them too much shit about it. But that's not. Is that really camping? I mean, when you brought a living room and a kitchen and a bathroom with you, are you really camping? Polly says, "You knucklehead," or Mr. Lee says, "The Polly, you knucklehead," and welcome the real Polly T. Why are you the real Polly T now instead of just Polly T? Did someone impersonate you? Mr. Lee says, "Plenty of vitamin C and ribeye." Yes, yes. And it's so easy to supplement with vitamin C anyway. There's just tons of it. Like, if you were ever truly concerned about that, you could deal with it. But if you're someone who can't stand to eat some raw or nearly raw steak sometimes, then you probably would end up having to supplement. But Donald says there are a few channels that specialize in 4x4 conversions. I think the Ford E Series is the best fit for the conversion. Donald F. Angel, Sandra P. Real Polly says Blackbeard has over 100 cases of scurvy. It's not even possible. It's not even possible. Like, I actually have some. Oh hell, they're within reach. Right here within. It'd be absolutely impossible for me to get scurvy. But yeah. Donald says real Polly T. Fish has all your essential oils too. Yeah. Some good old fish. Real Polly T says initially Blackbeard eats an exclusive diet. I've only fish and coconut milk. Chessboard says Lockbeard New Zealand wants to tax animal farts. Yeah, there's places around there are wanting to do that stupid shit. It's absolutely moronic. Animals of all types have been farting for all of the history of the earth, and they really want to. What they're doing is they're trying to steal. They're trying to find another reason to steal from you, and it's also an attack on the meat animal industry, right? They want to make us all stop eating meat. You've seen this. You know what's happening. You know, they want us to eat that lab shit or some kind of tofu crap that's absolutely poisonous. You should never eat that stuff. It's bad news. Tofu is not food for humans, period. But anyway, there's enough people seeing through the bullshit and realize like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna go out on the Serengeti and they're gonna chase down rhinos and say, "Hey, you fart too much. We gotta tax you, you stupid rhino." They're gonna find all them giraffes running around and zebra and wildebeest and hippos and elephants. They're gonna attack. How are they gonna attack? You know what I mean? It's just so damned ridiculous, and it doesn't even hold water. The science doesn't even hold water. My favorite point about that is for the government liars and bullshit artists when it comes to what happens when you release CO2. Well, anyone who has a weed grow operation knows that if you release CO2 into your grow house, the weed eats the extra CO2. It eats it. The plants eat it. You release extra CO2, the plants eat the fucking CO2. It's because it's part of the whole carbon cycle, right? It's the way life works. They are trying to make the elements of life itself illegal. But yeah, the extra CO2 is consumed by all the plant life. The oceans are full of plankton and algae, and these things just gobble up the extra. When the concentration goes up, they gobble it up and bring it back down to equilibrium. Equilibrium is the whole name of the game, right? But you don't hear this man-made global warming bullshit nonsense. You don't ever hear them talk about the dynamic equilibrium of the whole Earth as a system, which it has to a degree, right? Based on what elements you have present, what kind of biological situation you got, and then how much energy you're receiving, from the sun. Those are the factors that really matter to determine, what your equilibrium concentrations are going to be. What does the Earth's atmospheric CO2 concentration want to be at? Well, it's going to stay there. If you pump out a bunch of CO2, the algae and the plankton and all the other plants on the planet are going to gobble it up until it comes back down to that equilibrium level. It'll maintain it pretty well. If there's no shortage of the other elements necessary for a particular algae, for example, and you release extra CO2 and there's plenty of everything else it needs, that algae will reproduce extremely fast to gobble up all the CO2. But there's other things going on, but when there's a die off and then it kills a bunch of fish, that shit can happen too. But in general, the Earth is able to deal with whatever, for the most part, what we throw at it. So it's just bullshit. New Zealand government, you're dumbasses too. You're dumbasses too. Stop being douchebags. You do not need to tax animal farts. It's stupid. They promised me Florida would be under the ocean by now, and it hasn't happened, damn it. Sorry, Jay. Jay would have to float up into Georgia, I guess, and hang out there. Drinking beer. No liquid potatoes. Life says, I could go for a baked yellow potato with chives and bacon. Oh, shit. Full fat Coke, I bet? No, this is just ice water. Just ice water. Taters. Only one meal a day, always have, says Jay. Yeah, you're a lot better off. You'll live longer doing that, Jay. The Real Potty says, Lockbeard evening, yes. Many try to be, but they're just not me. There's only one, the Real Polly T. Meat and taters. Scurvy is humor. Yeah. Mr. Lee says, Jay Fritz, what about your cake, though? Cake. Says Ben. That's mean. Now I'm hungry. Says Chessboard. I don't know. I ate a pound of pulled pork earlier, so I'm not hungry at all. Nothing about dessert. You don't count dessert. Mr. Lee says tofu poison, soya bean poison. Yeah. Lowrider says AOC wants you to eat crickets. She's a bad spokesperson. You can see the crazy in her eyes, man. That chick is crazy psycho. Jay Fritz, one meal a day, all day. Says Chessboard. Eating insects is the future, huh? Not for me. Yeah, I don't plan on eating any bugs. Life says yum yum crickets are delicious, especially chocolate covered. Real Polly T says AOC can eat crotch crickets. She probably does. Lowrider says until the last cow is gone, it's going to be ribeye steak for me. Well, and then after that, there's a lot of people on the planet. You can cut a steak out of a person. Mr. Lee says, Lowrider, I don't mind too much. Plenty of fat. Ribeye is your favorite with plenty of fat. Chessboard says, Lowrider, AOC was asked what she thought about Roe versus Wade. She says that's the only two ways they have to cross the Grant. Oh shit. Yeah. Ribeye, spoon roast, or sirloin. Says Polly T. Jay says I'm 38 feet above sea level. How far? Do you know how far above sea level you would have been 30 years ago? I'd almost bet it was the same. They've been telling us that, oh, we're going to disappear into this. No, we're not. No, we're not disappearing into the sea. I will put my environmental degree down. Like, I'll bet that. Because I do have one. For what that's worth. There's a lot of people that did not actually go and take a single environmental course in any college ever who think they can tell me about, global warming. They tried to sell me that shit at college, but I took a lot of other sciences extra because of my interests were all over the place, and that's one thing I think is really missed because high school sciences don't teach you shit. I feel completely robbed by what little I picked up in high school sciences in general. We got a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying it's all, but they don't really teach anything. Like a lot of people come out of high school have zero clue how evolution works. For example, I'll have grown ass fucking people ask me, "Oh, well, why is it if evolution's real? Why aren't monkeys turning into people now?" It's because it doesn't fucking work that way. Go back to school and try again. That's not how it fucking works. Give me fucking aneurysm. But the broader perspective with college level sciences can really help, because some people don't need that, right? Some people, their bullshit meter is a lot better than mine. And they're seeing through this shit without the scientific education, right? So, anyway, yeah. If the sea level rises, it isn't because of us. It's because the sun is having a hot flash, or something. Something else is going on. But for the most part, the Earth is going to be very good at resisting anything we do to it. It's kind of a big deal. Don't mind sirloin, but I need the fat. Yeah, love the fat, Mr. Lee. Life is a trackway. Shrug. If you're in a survival situation, dandelion and cattail stew with a side of edible larva is delicious. Yeah, but I have a feeling that if shit's down, if it depends on how bad shit is. If shit gets bad enough, then I'm forced to defend myself, and I just had to whack some motherfuckers because they attacked me to try to take what I had. I'm probably just gonna say fuck it. It's time to revive an old human tradition of eating people. It's part of our DNA. It's something we have done over and over again in human history. There's plenty of archaeological evidence for it. There are still a few humans that do it today. Like people try to say, "Oh, you can't do that," blah blah blah. You're gonna get the kuru. You can only get the disease if it's present in the thing you ate. So if you know where it's at, anyway, that's a whole nother deal. I'm not trying to advocate for cannibalism. I'm just saying, if there is no red meat available and you got to whack some motherfuckers, don't waste it. Because you're going to keep getting weaker. If you're eating cattails and dandelions with some fucking bugs and shit, you're not going to be strong enough to last forever. You're going to get taken out eventually. Humans have to eat fatty red meat, period, to be at their best. They have to. We're specifically designed for that. Lowrider says, LOCKBEARD, you get all the vitamin C you need from organ meats like liver. Yeah, I mean, you can eat liver and stuff. I like liver. A lot of people don't like eating organ meat, but I like liver all right. It depends on what restaurant I'm eating it at, though. Some of them fuck it up. I don't know how they fuck it up, but they fuck it up. But the reality is you don't need to eat organ meats to get vitamin C. The vitamin C levels in the other meats is just fine. You get all you need. So so I would never tell people you have to eat organ meats. You don't have to. It's probably good for you to do it every so often, but you don't have to. I do think eating animal brain is a good thing to kind of get into, but that's a whole nother deal. You love Delmonico sticks. Mr. Lee says life sounds delicious. It can be. Good night, all. I got a drunk cook. Awesome. So, anybody know where that alien came from? That picture comes from on the thumbnail. Donald Fuller says, "Whatever happened to the hole in the ozone layer scare?" Well, we were all, they had everybody spooked on that one for a while, didn't they? Oh my God, it's so. It gets bigger, it gets smaller, it fluctuates, it does its fucking thing. I mean, they had a pretty good story like, well, people using aerosol cans in the United States are somehow causing a hole in the ozone layer all the way down in Antarctica. Seems legit. People should be reminded of that shit. So, look, they had y'all spooked about the fucking ozone layer. Little buddies come back. Don't know what she wants. But she needs to get out of here. Get. Let's see here. Ben T says 2013 ice caps were going to melt. Yeah. There was a big deal where they were talking about I've talked about this before, where they were worried about the polar bears. And the most recent survey of polar bear populations shows they've increased in population. Well, somebody sure miscalculated there. They were telling us the polar bears were in danger of getting wiped out, and yet their numbers have increased. Well, somebody got shit wrong. Chessboard says, Jay, put some water in a glass and fill it up the rest of the way with ice. What is the water level after the ice melts? Bugs are nothing but protein. Shirley says, I'm eating 4 eggs a day now. Every day. Never felt better. I don't know what this bee. Why does it want to hang out? Go on. Get some nectar. Damn thing's crawled all over me for some reason. How you like that tie? Yeah. Hello, Jen. Welcome. What's up, Mid-South? Welcome to the chat. A lot of hellos and whatnots. Life says I spent most of my day comatose. Saturday is turning into my sleep catch-up day. Well, you'll never catch up. That's another thing I try to tell people about sometimes is when I was in need of, I needed more hours in a day, right? And I learned about people who sleep less in a night. So I wanted to achieve that. You remember, like, I think I've brought this up before. There was a movie with Val Kilmer in it called Real Genius, and one of the characters was this girl who never slept. And that's really interesting to me. It's like, how would one, because if you don't sleep, you go nuts, right? But is there a way, a mental exercise, a meditation of some kind, where you can achieve the ability to get by with no sleep and have more hours in a day? Well, I haven't achieved that, but um, I was sleeping, 8, 9 hours a night like anyone else. They told you need 8 hours a night. Well, I needed more hours in the fucking day. So I, got online, started reading, trying to learn, how to achieve this. And what I got to was basically 5 hours a night. I seem to naturally stick to sleeping about 5 hours a night. Sometimes I do 3 hours a night. I haven't really made a strong push to go to 3 hours a night for every night, but I feel comfortable that I could comfortably do it at some point when I decide to make that push. But the key is consistently every day. If you sleep in on Saturday and Sunday, that's why Monday morning sucks. um, you got to keep your fitness level. Your body needs to be used to doing the same thing in the same amount of time every day. So if you sleep in on the weekends, you fuck up your adaptation. So, and a lot of people hate this. They don't want to hear this, but the reality is if you wake up at the same time on Saturday and Sunday that you have to do every other day of the week, you will make it a lot easier on you in the morning, especially Monday mornings. But going forward, it's just easier in general. Like, I got to where I was waking up before the alarm went off because I was just done sleeping. And 5 hours is not really 5 hours; it's really 4.5 hours, because humans sleep in about a 90-minute sleep cycles. So 3 sleep cycles of 90 minutes is 4.5 hours. But you give yourself 5 hours to, time to fall asleep, time to wake up, kind of a buffer zone there. But sleeping in on Saturday and Sunday is absolutely shooting yourself in the foot. It really is. Like, just give it a try. Give it a try. Like, couple of weeks. Go to sleep at the same time. Wake up at the same time. Every single day. Weekends, weekdays, every single day. And just give it a try. And if you want to reduce the amount of time you sleep, you can do that. You do not need to sleep 8 hours. That's just complete bullshit. It just is. It's like a muscle. You work it, it gets adapted. Your mind gets adapted to doing what it needs to do in 4.5 hours instead of 8 hours. It just gets used to it. And as long as you stay consistent and don't sleep in on weekends and whatnot, you will have a lot easier time and more time in the day. You'll have more time in a day. If you think about it, if by the time when you hit 90, if you slept 8 hours every night, you slept for 30 years. Say you slept 9 hours a day. That's even more. But 8 hours it's an easy one to figure out. 30 years. If you get it down to 4 hours, well, you if you did that your whole life, you just added 15 years of waking time to your life. It adds up, right? It's a little late now. Once you start like you started when you were a kid, but who's going to? So realistically, you don't want to include that time. It's just something for people to think about. Like, I only sleep, roughly 5 hours a night. And sometimes 3. Life says there was a monk that slept only 20-minute naps taken throughout the day. Yeah. Well, Benjamin Franklin did that. Margaret Thatcher slept 3 hours a night. Nikola Tesla slept 2 hours a night. There's a lot of people that do the 5 hours a night. Donald Trump, for whatever that's worth. Donald Trump, 5 hours a night. Jen says the thing on the thumbnail almost looks like the terror dog from Ghostbusters. Nope. Does nobody know what that alien's from? I don't think I've seen anyone guess it yet. That picture, the alien picture in the thumbnail. Donald Fuller says, I don't sleep more than 4 hours if I'm lucky. Mr. Lee says 2 to 3 hours a day you sleep. Midsouth says, I used to take 20-minute naps every other day to every 3 days when I was methed up, but now I sleep 8 to 9 hours a night plus a couple hours when I get off work. Chessboard says, Mr. Lee, you can sleep when you're dead. You're immortal, secret reptilian. Midsouth says, and then there's a night I take my prescription meds and I sleep 10 to 12 hours at a time. Damn. Half a day just gone. I don't know how I could deal with that. Jen says I wake up by 7:30 every day, regardless of when I go to bed. Got a schedule set. Still eating those pancakes. Then T says, I wish I was immortal. Life says I get up at 4 a.m. during the week. Dang, Bigfoot channels don't come on until 9 p.m. Yeah. Patty says, must be why you're up all night, Mr. Lee. Yeah, he don't sleep. Angel says, I'm up by 6 every morning. Mr. Lee says, Donald Trump, speed freak, though. Of course he don't sleep. Yeah. Yeah. Chessboard says, Jen, I said hello. Hope you had a good day. Mid-South says, of course I do. I work at IHOP. Yeah, but you could still be keto working at IHOP because they got bacon and eggs and stuff. If you just eat the bacon and eggs, and that makes you carnivore. Bacon, eggs, cheese, sausage patties. You could totally eat keto on breakfast food, no problem. Yep. It'd be hard though if you're depending on how bad your carb addiction is. It's pretty bad for a lot of people. It's like trying to kick a drug. It's literally addictive. Carbs are. Life says the alien is from Independence Day movie. Yes, it is. Life got it. What about the Bigfoot picture? Mr. Lee says, Miss South, I'm not sure what IHOP is, but you must quit the pancakes, dude. IHOP's IHOP, it stands for International House of Pancakes. It's, they're all about pancakes, but they have other breakfast foods. So he could try to, if he's interested in doing that. He may not give a shit about keto, Mr. Lee. Mid-South says, well, I'm up every day at 5:30 every morning. Jen says, Miss Chessboard, pretty good day. Thank you. Hope you had a good one too. Mid-South says, well, Mr. Lee, if you don't know what IHOP is, you need to do a little more research into American restaurants. I just told him. Chessboard says Jen busy leaking kitchen faucet always on holiday weekend. Yeah, it's just a breakfast restaurant, Mr. Lee. It's kind of like what's the other ones that are like that? They're not places I eat at a lot, so it's kind of I can't think of them right now. Anyway, it's a International House of Pancakes. It's pancakes are their main deal. Breakfast is their thing. It's just a restaurant, a pancake restaurant. Life says the Bigfoot is from the supposed Independence Day video captures. Yes. See, the pictures pertain to the title of today's live stream. isn't yeah, frustrating that Donald says that's Independence Day Bigfoot. Yep. Denny's, yeah, those kind of restaurants. Denny's. Nikki says IHOP makes a pretty good cheeseburger. See, when I think IHOP, I don't think cheeseburger. Although I've been trying various restaurants around here lately, and like a couple of them are like these like burger joints. Occasionally, you'll go into some little joint like that, and they'll have like a pretty damn good meal. Man, I've had some crap food lately that it's just been so crappy. I'm like, how in the hell do they feel good about putting this on a plate? Like there's this little hot dog joint down here. It says on the windows, voted best in this town, the best in town. Like it says that multiple times on the windows. Like these are the best hot dogs in town, right? So like I'm okay there. I'm probably gonna go in here. I'm probably gonna get me some pretty damn good hot dogs here. Man, these things were the tiniest little hot dog links and the crappiest little buns. And then I asked for cheese, onions, and sauerkraut. There was some kind of chopped up plant material underneath the hot dogs, just a little bit of it. Like, but I couldn't really tell what was there. Like there between the cheese, the sauerkraut, and the onions, if all those were present, there was maybe a tablespoon of material. These were some of the most goddamn pathetic hot dogs I've ever had. And they have it written all over their windows that they're the best in the town. I mean, it was so goddamn ridiculous. And what's worse is I can go down and get a hot dog down at Quick Trip down the road here for like, I don't know, like 50 cents less. At least it's at least 50 cents less per hot dog, and I can load up all the sauerkraut and onions I want on that son of a bitch. Relish, like they have all kinds of shit you can put on, like you can deck out your goddamn hot dog, and the hot dog link is literally twice as big as the hot dog links down there at that piece of shit restaurant. It's ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. I can't even begin to. I'll never go back. Pancake House, Denny's. Jen says, I hope IHOP serves all kinds of other stuff. Mitch Lee says, chessboard, I can do most things. Plumbing ain't one of them. I hate plumbing. Life says, Waffle House, Bob Evans, who has a great wildfire chicken salad. Half y'all are going to go like immediately and eat something. After this. Mid-South says, I love pancakes, and no, I'm not going to stop eating them. We have every kind of pancake known to man, and yeah, I'm a fat-ass son of a bitch. But I had my skinny day of when I never ate, along with never slept. Yeah. Well, you could have your skinny day again. If you go, if you go carnivore, if you can survive the withdrawals, you will have withdrawals from carbs. If you go carnivore, You don't have to count calories, nothing. All you gotta do is just eat meat. You can eat as much goddamn meat as you want. You can eat as much fat on that meat as you want. You will lose weight. Like I've been, to events where people were having steaks and people are trimming the fat off their steaks, and I'm getting my plate. I'm getting a plate, an extra plate, loaded up with everybody's steak fat, and just eating that shit, and lost fat, lost weight while eating like that. It's because it's a natural diet for humans. Humans aren't supposed to eat like wheat. Well, pancakes are made from wheat flour. Humans aren't supposed to eat that shit. And the sugar that's in there and the syrup and all, none of that stuff's for humans. And it makes us sick. It makes us bloated, and it makes us gain fat, and it makes us inflamed. Like, you'd be surprised how much weight just in inflamed tissues and organs and shit people are carrying and don't even know it. They're constantly putting these toxins in our bodies, and they're constantly sick. So they're at risk. They're at risk for so many diseases as a result, and psychological issues, digestive problems. But the big ones, cancer, heart disease, diabetes, like all this shit's caused by what people are eating. If they could just bear down and kick the carb habit, they straight up, well, I can't say, they'll say medical misinformation. You know what I want to say. Jen says, I was in management of Waffle House, but for what it is, you can eat pretty well. Mid South says, so my last days on earth will be in pancake heaven. Life says, being just outside Amish country, breakfast food is not a big thing for me, nor is gravy. Jay Fritz says, I love Sonic's foot-long chili dog, extra cheese, extra onions. Yeah, that's occasionally I get a hankering for that, and I have to go get that, Jay. Hey, and remember, you can get them to grill your onions. You can get grilled onions. Like, don't forget, I don't know if you like grilled onions. I love grilled onions. But if you forget, like you don't, but yeah, they'll put grilled onions on there if you ask. Well, unless you got a dickhead Sonic. Chessport says Mid South beats the hell out of punching holes in donuts. Go! Life is a Trek-Way says, I've only had Waffle House a couple times. I was impressed. Jen says, Life, it's been a while, but they have a T-bone steak that's not bad. Yeah, I've had their T-bone steak at IHOP. In fact, the last time I ate at IHOP, that's what I had. Steak and eggs. Life is a Trackway says, now that I'm allergic to fry oil, it's amazing how my weight dropped. Mr. Lee says, barbecue I'd eat now. Oh man, pig roast, plenty of mustard, onions, plenty of fat dripping. Oh man. Batmom's here. She says, hey everyone, I'm at In-N-Out. Dachshunds. Mid-South says, I love meat too, rare fatty meat too, but when it comes to pancakes, I smother my pancakes with mounds of butter and butter pecan syrup. Man, you know what my problem is when I do break down and have something like that? Because I do that too. Like, I want to saturate the pancake with butter before I do anything else. But they don't have real butter. Like, hardly anyone has real butter. They all have margarine. I don't want any damn margarine. I want butter. They're not the same. I want real butter, and I want my shit saturated with that butter. And then we'll start getting into the syrup and blueberries and stuff. Hope everyone is well. Life says, Jen, steaks are difficult for me to enjoy. I worked and trained at a steakhouse that cooked over cherry wood. I compare everything to that. Yeah, you got spoiled. Could be worse, though. But Mama, I wonder where you were. She's here. She's here. In-N-Out has the best animal fries. Animal fries? What's that? Jay says I never lose or gain. Eat all foods. Actually, way less than high school weight. Different proportion due to gravity. Yeah. By all accounts, things are dragging the ground, right? Batmom says, hello to everybody. Bring your own butter, BYOB. I've thought about it. It's kind of hard to pull that little maneuver off. You kind of got a plan for it. And I really just need to not eat any fucking pancakes or waffles and shit. Is what I need to do. But lard, Mr. Lee says lard. Mr. Lee, I'm not going to put lard on a waffle or a pancake, though. I think I'm going to stick with butter for that kind of application. Life says the best steaks I found to cook came from Walmart for a while. I tried true Angus cuts, but the marbling for a Walmart was much better. Mid-South says, yeah, the T-bone is really good, but we as employees don't get to have it at our 75% discount when we're at work. So I usually get the steak tips with eggs. What's the steak tip? Is it tender? It ain't like little. I'm a little nervous about getting meat at places sometimes because I've gotten like steak, something similar to steak tips at places, and it turned out to be these tough little pieces of fucking leather that I couldn't hardly. I didn't want to chew it up to eat it. It's like it wasn't worth. It was. I was like, well, where'd they get? How did you? It takes some skill to make a piece of meat that tough. Yeah, not everywhere is like that, but I've had experiences, and yeah. Back to cooking. Donald says, not sure if you folks are much into watching Hiveless P, but it sounds like he could use our support. Batmom says, you guys won't be disappointed. Donald, what happened? Have a carb day once a week, then ketovore, the rest works for me. Batmom says, Donald, what's wrong with Hiveless? Wagon did him dirty. I don't know. I haven't been paying any attention to him. He hacked me off. So I don't pay attention to him. Jay Fritz says, my mother always used lard or bacon grease. Different delicious taste back then. Yeah. Michael Haywood's here. Welcome. Batmom says, Jen, I eat crap 7 days a week and use vegetable oil one of those days. Vegetable oil's bad too, though. It's not good for you. You want butter. You want animal fats and butter. Like, it has to come from animals to be healthy for humans. If it isn't from an animal, it's not good for you. Doesn't work. It doesn't work for me, but I still do. Mid-South says there's shoreline tips that are cooked well done, but since I'm in the kitchen, have them cooked medium rare. Nikki says I don't see him live. Donald says, not sure on the full details, but she was supposed to go to the UK and was playing him the whole time. Well, have you heard her side of the story? Because I think, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't been watching and paying attention to that stuff. All I know is that I get this sense that, I don't know. I don't watch Hiveless B. It's because he managed to hack me off, and I can't 100% put my finger on how to describe why. But I feel like he's fucking with me, or he was, and so at least he doesn't come around. Angie says, Jay Fritz, my grandmother did also. Best eggs and home fries. Mr. Lee says, vegetable oil's poison. Yep. Who's wagging what a biatch? Get her side of the story now. All I know is I haven't paid so much attention to her to really say I have a thought one way or another on her. All I know is Hyblis B managed to hack me off. Can't really explain. I can't really explain it, but he has. So I just something ain't right there. Life says, "Oh, keto is low carb, high protein. Why don't they just call it Atkins?" I think there's might be some subtle differences there, but it's kind of the same. Similar, not exactly the same. Yeah, close enough. Mid-South says, who are you talking about, Lockbeard? It's not someone in the cryptid community. Not really. He tried, like, his name is Hyblis B, and I think it's my fault that he even came over in this area because he was over in Ken's stuff on Ken's channel, and I invited some people over here, and then he ended up coming up in here and getting up on into the cryptid channels, and I don't know, it's like it was a goddamn computer virus attack or some shit. And anyway, something about him rubs me the wrong way, and when he stopped coming in here, I was perfectly happy with that. Something ain't right. Something is not right. So you guys figure that out if you want to go watch him and shit. But Life says, I guess I've been keto a long time. I only have complex carbs a few times a month. Chessboard says, Jay, black seeded Simpson lettuce and bacon grease, best salad in the world. A-Trackway. Freshly baked bread. Chessboard says, you need to get that other ore so you're here on time. Oh, I hear a chopper coming over. They're coming for me. Get rid of Mr. Foley there. Mid-South says, another of my sweet sins at IHOP are their cookies and cream shakes. I eat a lot of their shakes because when they're made for the customer, there's always a half cup left over, which comes to me. Of course it does. That mom says, it's all Lockbeard's fault. I really don't know who Hyblis is except for this chat. Yeah. Like, I don't know what the fuck it was. Like, it's like, you know, like Chessboard come from over there, you know, and has been fine. But Hyblis B came on like some kind of plague or something. I don't know what the hell. I can't really explain it. But it just, man, putting that genie back in the bottle, man, at least he don't come over here anymore. He figured out that I wasn't going to fucking play. Michael says, Uncle Bones, where are you? Let me see if I can see if anybody's live, because we're over 2 hours. Yeah, UFO Man is live. Peter Kane. He's live, it looks like, but he's an asshole. I don't know why anyone wants to watch his ass. Modern Day Debate channel. The Modern Day, I don't know if y'all are familiar with the Modern Day Debate channel. You can watch morons debating shit. Sometimes both sides are morons. But not always. Looks like they're having a pro-choice versus pro-life debate right now. Of course they are. Of course they are. You're both wrong. You're both wrong. Both sides are wrong. Life says, though, corned beef. Well, corned beef ain't a wig nut. Corned beef's good for you. Corned beef is good for you. It's good stuff. Jen says you relate Hiveless with Mank. Oh, well, no, they were both up in here a lot together. Yeah. I think Mank came over from Ken's chat too. Ken Wheeler's chat, Theoria, Apophysis, not cryptid, not paranormal. Well, if you want a scientific explanation for the paranormal, you will find it there. He explains that shit perfectly fine, but he's not. Don't try to talk to him about no Bigfoot or none of that bullshit. Like he ain't having it. He ain't having it. Miss L says, I don't know who the Hiveless guy is. I thought you were talking about Pauly T. No, I wasn't. No, not Pauly T. Hiveless, he don't seem to be coming around in the cryptid circles anymore, hardly. He went and started his own channel, and he's doing whatever the fuck he does over there. Donald says, that's Vault's henchman from the FBI and that chopper looking for you. I'm pretty sure Vault doesn't know where the fuck I am. Jay says, too many PPL have issues for me on YouTube. People have issues for you on YouTube? Ben T says, y'all are making me hungry. Yeah, I knew it. Michael says, Trackway, that's not a weakness. Yeah, it's a good thing. Corned beef is good food. Life is a Trackway. Yes. Brandy's here. Welcome. She says, you're the only one that thought Hiveless. Brandy says, you're the one that brought Hiveless into the community. Lockbeard from Ken Wheeler. Yeah. Yeah. I guess I'd take the full blame for that. I was just trying to invite some people over, and sometimes you get the crazies. Mr. Lee says, Peter Kane, I stopped watching. Very rude. Yeah, dude is an asshole. You wouldn't know it watching his regular content, but you get in his live streams, even if you try to talk to him and you're not like attacking him or saying any crazy shit to him, he will attack you. He's a fucking asshole. Batman says, hey, who the heck is the guy under Vault Killa? I don't know who that is. I don't know who Vault Killa is. Does anybody know? Michael says, Mr. Fuller, Frank's shaking. That's good food. Nikki says, Mr. Lee, why would you watch Kane? Strictly entertainment, I'm sure. Strictly entertainment. I mean, he makes some funny shit, but it's just funny that some people actually thought he was telling the truth about Bigfoot. It's like, did y'all not watch some of this shit? It's obvious joke. The whole thing. He's not trying to hoax. He's just being a funny guy. He's being a comedian. Life is a Trackway. Jen, that Irish restaurant still in business there around the mall. Mr. Lee, you actually watching for the dog training? Which mall? Brandy says, Mid South Hyveless is the one whose girl wagon you hit on in Moog stream. You talked to him in the comments section. So I thought, was Hyveless dating her or something, or trying to date her? It seems like he's been trying to poach him some American girls. I guess he can't get none of them British girls over there. Mr. Lee got them all. Brandy says no longer his girl. It's kind of hard to see how she could be his girl all the way over here in the United States. Life says it's in Northeast Columbus. There was a big outdoor water fountain. I haven't been there in 11 years. Mid-South says, I don't know why everyone is so petrified of Vault, but guess what? I'm not. He's not who everyone makes him out to be. Yeah. Yeah, this looks like a bunch of, it's like, a lot of animals, they're just bluffing, they're trying to make you scared of them. He's like that. He's a simple beast. He's trying to make everyone afraid of him and act like he's this big, bad, guy who could literally possibly kill you. And the reality is most likely is that this is all just bullshit. But the danger is he may one day be, because he's so invested in this whole thing, that he may one day want to try and prove it. And that's where some danger could come from. It's not that he's a badass, it's just that he might show up somewhere carrying a weapon. I think that's a very real possibility there. Because he's going to want to prove how badass he is one of these days. Park Place Mall. Brandy says, everyone can't get along, but when you don't even give a person a fair shake, I don't see how it's cool to make a final judgment. I don't know what I needed to, if you're talking about me, I don't know what I was supposed to do. He rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know. I just don't want anything. I don't need to talk to him again. And that I'm perfectly fine with that. He can go away. He did go away. See ya. Well, probably that place has gone a lot. Donald says, Brandy, I like Ivy. The game nights were fun. Mid-South says, oh, that dickhead. Oh, yeah, he got upset that I hit on Wagon. Poor bastard. Hope he didn't get over it. He's probably never been in the same room as her. I mean, you know what I mean? I don't know. But for some reason, I had in my mind that she was married, actually. So this is kind of news to me that him and her were trying to be a thing, an item of some kind. Life, I think it's Easton. Brandy says, Life says, I think it's Easton. Brandy says, Donald, I'll probably pick those up for a bit. Game nights. Donald says, everyone thought you were Vault Killer. Do you know who that is? Because there's always possibility that he himself could be Vault Killer, trying to play a whole game where he's got this person after him. Brandy says, Mid-South, that's not what the comments thread shows. He joked with you about it. Chessboard says, Brandy, Johnny asked his dad why the dog was on top of the other dog. Dad said the dog in back has hurt front paws. Johnny said, just like humans try and help someone and they F you every time. Yep. Fedo Fatto Irish Pub and Pines and Pints. Uncle Bones says, Jesus, I'm so late, Lockbeard. That's okay, Uncle Bones. Live says, Fatto's great corned beef and an absolutely phenomenal Belgian white beer. Mr. Lee says, how can you have a love affair with someone on YouTube? I don't get it. It seems to be kind of a thing, Mr. Lee. I don't get it either. Unless you plan on actually meeting the person, which I don't know. It sounds like they planned on actually meeting or something, and now it's a whole thing because she didn't want to go or changed her mind. I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm so out of the loop on this because I don't pay attention to him. Like I said, I thought she was married or something here, but I don't know anything. Mark does flirt with everyone. This house says, my damn keyboard got stuck on that fucking handwriting board. What? Jen says, good to know, life. I never tried it. Got Jen, it was great. Mid-South says, I'm just a horny old squatcher. You know, the sane squatchers do it in the woods. Squatchers do it in the woods. Batmom says, I thought it was them making those videos, but one of the claims no one wants to be associated with. If he made those videos and that accusation on himself, that's sick. I don't know exactly what you're saying there. You talking about Vault? Donald says, no idea who it is, but the picture of the black dildo in front of his mouth is hilarious. Huh? Jesper says, hello, Uncle Bones. Did you see those beautiful dance partners? Causing problems again. That sounds like something's going on with him. Jen says, life, I may go check it out this week on vacation. Go watch his last vid. Mr. Lee says, Uncle Bones, if you are aware of me in Hiveless B history, we are not buddies. Yeah. Mr. Lee, old Donald brought up Hiveless B name in our chat, man. What's up with that? No respect. Batmom says, I never heard that saying, Mark. You might not want to say that saying again, though. Mid-South says, suppose to have said, the saying, squatchers do it in the woods. Seems like I heard that somewhere. I don't think they meant that, though. Mr. Lee says, Donald, yeah, I saw that too. Life says, I highly recommend it, Jan. I've done a great bit of travel over the years. Very few eateries get a recommendation from me. You know. So y'all are talking about Peter Kane. That dude is so stupid. Yeah. He's just a comedian. He's a comedian. I think his Sasquatch stuff is funny. But I don't want to interact with him at all. I don't want to go to his live streams because he's an asshole. Like, for no reason, he's an asshole. Like at least have some kind of reason. Donald says, next time Vault Killer comes in the chat, look at the profile picture. Why? What's the profile picture? Like, I've never seen this Vault Killer, but I don't hang out at Vault's channel either. Apparently not as much as him and his crew do. Check it out. Yeah, why is that the Bat Mom? Uncle Bone says chessboard. They got the moves like the '60s tassel twirlers. What? Mr. Lee says Peter Kane live chat Mid-South. Oh man, he can be a douchebag. Yeah, I do not recommend people go to Peter Kane's chat, but his Sasquatch video content, some of that's some pretty funny stuff. Some of it's really, really gross, so some of y'all may not like that. Well, I've shown some of it here, but I don't give a fuck, right? Everybody just needs to laugh at shit, man. Actually, only 4 places that I can think of says life. That mom says the Vault Killer was in Mog's chat, Lockbeard. Was he? I don't know. I'm not always paying attention, so to the chat sometimes, so I may have totally missed him. Chessboard says Oka Bones. You betcha, brother. Hope you have a wonderful 4th weekend. That mom says someone send Lockbeard a memo. He's confused. The memo on what? Donald says the Vault's face with the black dildo on the front of his mouth. Oh. Well, that would have set him. I can see that setting him off. Mid-South says, I don't like Peter Kane's shit. He's an idiot, and yeah, he's an asshole too. Yeah. Well, I mean, if like the comedy stuff, like as long as you know, like it is straight up comedy. He's not, that's not who he really is. He's acting. It's a comedy bit. The Sasquatch videos are all a comedy bit. You don't really see in those videos like you do in a live stream that in real life he is an asshole. He's when you got him live, but his Sasquatch videos are just comedy. So if you can appreciate the comedy, but I know some people would not like his comedy though. Some people's comedy just aren't for everybody. Lockbeard says, or Uncle Bone says, the Lockbeard chessboard has skeleton women dancers video. What? Skeleton? Life says the Acme Oyster House in New Orleans, #1. Mr. Lee says Peter Kane, Sasquatch, and Dogman videos are hilarious. Batman says it's the same person who did the Dogman's cams is a scam profile, I think, or a copycat. Oh, look at here. Vault Killer. Vault Keeper has no job, no money. Welcome to the chat, Vault Killer. Batman says, oh, see, there he is. Wondering who that is. Who is that? He's here, says Patty. Batman says, Vault Killer, why does your profile get linked with David Lee? Now I know who it is. What? Oh, you know who Vault Killer is? You thought it was Donald? Donald says it ain't him. Life says, what is somebody feed Phil on net? I have no idea, man. Chessboard's video is good. Donald Fuller says, Batmom, that's who I thought it was, is David Lee. So you think it's David Lee? Watch Skeleton video. Right? I don't know who David Lee is either, Mr. Lee. Have to ask. Batmom says again, someone send Lockbeard the memo. No, I ain't had any memos. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Ms. House says, I encountered ties with Vault when I had the channel called Memphis Sasquatch and had differences in opinions with both him and Dark Sewage. Imagine that. Tim Voice here says, damn it, am I the only one not getting notifications? Well, you're probably not the only one, but welcome to the chat, man. Hey, every Saturday night, man, same time, same place. every Saturday night. Where's Timmy? Where's Timmy's video? Here we go.
Level out, come on.
David Lee Roth. I don't think so. Life. Batman says, Timmy boy, yes, just you. Well, apparently not get notifications, Mr. Lee. Donald says, David Lee is the other one who was using the John Rambo comment that got Volt Land up. So it's possible when he was getting all bent out of shape about being called John Rambo that he wasn't talking about you. He was actually talking about this David Lee character. Because that might clear that up. Mr. Lee says, Batmom, they're David Lee Roth. Only 11,000. Yeah, story of my life, chessboard. Tim Boy says, thank you. May Reed Hasketh is here. Welcome. Saying hi to everybody. Thanks for dropping in. So, I guess Volt Killer didn't have much to say. Batmom says, Donald, it's good to know that it's David Lee, but I was blamed for those videos. Dude, David Lee, asshole? You were blamed for what videos? You talking about that channel that was set up with the I don't know. Wasn't the D2D DOS attack channel, was it? Woke up around 1 a.m. Mr. Lee says, Vault Killer, where are you? Vault Killer says, Vault Keeper takes it in the bum. Oh, man. Donald says, we both used it in his comments. I was under my rebar channel. Talking about the John Rambo stuff. Ruthless says, a little birdie flew to my window. I'm missing the lulls, it said. Batman says, Dogman Cams is a scam videos. I was blamed for those. Gotcha. Dogman Cams is a scam channel. Mid-South says, so in my opinion, we can close the vault door and the other can flush himself down into the dark waters. End of discussion on those two. Yeah. Tim Boy says, I'm so out of the loop. Who we talking about? Vault Keeper? Yeah, he's somehow ended up being topic of discussion tonight because he made yet another live stream where he was threatening people with violence. He's trying to act like he's not, and trying to act like he's justified, like he's being threatened. Well, no one's threatening him. He's the one threatening everybody else, saying, I've been, trained to kill and blah, blah, blah. Dude, I'm set up. I can find your IP address and find you. Like, dude, how is he still on YouTube making obvious threats at people? You were not rebar. Donald said he was not rebar. Missed everything. Mr. Lee, you say that to everybody when I get here. They missed everything. Batman says, now I'm thinking David Lee is ruthless and Timmy Boy plus the other ones. The other ones. As always. Vault Killer says, I've known Vault Keeper for years. He's nothing but talk. Ruthless says, shout out to Gimps and Moonbats now lurking. But Jay says, Mr. Lee, Mr. 3, do you guys celebrate the 4th of July for getting rid of all us crazy fucks? Don't think so. Last channel that no one knew who I was. Sorry. Icon's here. Welcome. Says, Halito Achaeos. And howdy chat. Tim Boy says he not worth being a topic. Still on, yeah. Trying to find a stopping point. Mr. Lee says, Icon, hello, my man. Life's every military organization needs a cook, like Vault. Rutha says, oh, keyboard warrior, find people with an IP address. Yeah, he said that in his video, in his live stream like 4 days ago. So, when you say you're going to find people and then within moments of that, you say something to the effect that you're trained to kill and that you're warning people of that, you're threatening people with violence to murder them. Straight up. I mean, seriously. He's so full of shit. Batmom says, Donald, I thought Patty was a traitor. What? Angel says, hi to Icon. What's a dynamic IP? I don't know. Timmy Boy says I can send him an address. Well, I wouldn't do that, Timmy. Just in case. You never know. Like, the dude may be more unstable than we realize. Friend from down under, Ruthless. Vault Killer says, I've been out with Vault Keeper on his old property. The Dogman cam is a scam. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Partly because there's nothing to support the whole Dogman claim. Werewolves, whatever the hell these people are claiming they're seeing. There's just not enough to support the idea. Plus, it doesn't even make sense within, what we know of the existing animal life and evolution, and there's just no reason to expect this thing to possibly exist. Sasquatch is easy to fit into everything because it's basically just a big hairy human. There's no reason why there couldn't be a big hairy human hiding out there, and just as smart as us and able to pull that off. Dogman looks like total bullshit. And so, yeah, I'm not buying into this Dogman cam nonsense. Patty Troy says, don't fool it. I can tell your comments no matter the name. Mr. Lee says, Jay Frisk, we do not celebrate the 4th of July. I think he didn't quite get his joke, Mr. Lee. Ruthless says, Bones, everybody's friends. There's little Ruthless in us all. Yeah. Icon says, are you hiding a peahen in your van? Oh, I didn't even hear him. Did you hear one? Because they're out here. They got some here. That's funny. But yeah, there's a couple of them here. Okabone says, well, I was late, not as late as you. Vault Killer says, Vault Keeper lies about everything. Icon says, Uncle Bones, good seeing you too. Rutha says, people that say they'll IP trace route really don't fathom tracking. Shit proxy chain IP surfing bears that shit easy as beats. I'm not sure I can translate what you just said, but thanks. Anyway. Vault Killer says, I've seen a Dogman. They are real. You believe in Dogman? Are you sure that you couldn't have misidentified something? You know, was it dark out? You know, did you see, you know, maybe you just saw a wolf or a bear or something? You know, it's just Dogman don't fit into anything. So it's an extraordinary claim, right? So it needs extraordinary evidence. Tim Boy says, I have refused to watch bullshit channels, so I just watch Lockbeard and maybe Moog sometimes. So I'm not up on anything. Yeah, there's only a few channels. Like, well, for one, I mean, you know, there's one only has so much time. And if you can sort out what channels don't have the bullshit on it, I mean, Mogs is more like he tries to keep shit real, but he's also really neutral. So like when Vault shows up, Vault gets to talk. Like, if Vault is ever allowed on my screen, it's so him and Donald can fight it out. But I'm not gonna sit here and let him, you know, just say whatever the fuck he wants to say and spread his bullshit on screen. Certainly not someone like D2D DOS or Dark Waters. Like, Dark Waters came on the screen at night, insulted Nikki, and I'd be like, okay, you're out of here, buddy. You're fucking gone. There's no way I would tolerate Dark Sewage's shit. So anyway, back to like other channels that are, you know, trying to keep shit real. Western New York Bigfoot Investigation Group and Squatch Talk. That's a couple of them, you know. They try to keep shit pretty real. Logical evidence. Lollipop. A lollipop. Oh, do you hear firecracker? Yeah, firecrackers. If you see a, I don't know, you may not be able to see it. There's a big dog out here that's scared shitless of stuff like that. She'll jump in right here behind me at some point, unless she found somewhere else good to hide. Batmom says he said he knew the IP address for some fake Batmom person that was going around their chats, supposedly. But if he had that in If he had that in IP address, then he would have known it wasn't me. I'll see you later, Jay. Icon says, Ruthless, glad you fixed that. Was wondering what proxy chain IP surfing bears was. Yeah, I don't know what the hell. check, proofread before you send, man. See you tomorrow. Chessboard says Ruthless, UPS and FedEx doesn't know about tracking either. Yeah, man, no shit. Ruthless says Icon, I think of Owen Benjamin when I see the word bear. Icon says, I thought I recognized that sound. Peacocks are even more annoying. I mean, it was funny that you heard it. I completely did not register. I didn't hear them. Like, I'm sure I physically heard them, but I totally didn't know that they were over there making their calls until you said something. Now that you got me thinking about it, like, you hear the guineas right now. Torons and Presenters. Vault Killer says Vault Keeper lied about getting IP address. He don't have money. He had new computer bought for him because he's so poor. Poor cat doesn't know what she's done. Yeah, I'm sure he bullshitted her into his fold. You know, like, I'm trying to figure out how the fuck, what the hell's, I don't know. Whatever. All I know is, like, he got pissed at me because I was kind of getting on her because she came into my chat trying to entrap me and trying to talk shit. Like, I guess she was talking shit about dark sewage. For some reason, I was thinking it was Vault, but I guess it was dark sewage. I don't know. As soon as I find the chats, I'll know for sure. But anyway, she was talking shit on one of them, and then I think she was trying to ingratiate herself, and so she was a fucking a spy, an infiltrator, and you know, I get to say something about that, whether Vault likes it or not. I get to fucking say something about that. He's mad people come in his chat saying shit. Well, I can say some shit about, him sending his infiltrator into my goddamn chat. I can say some shit about that. You don't get to tell me I can't say shit about that. And then he jumps back on Moog's screen so he can disrupt Moog's show with that shit. We were having our own little side conversation in chat. It didn't need to go on screen. Vault forced it on screen because he's a douche nozzle. Some could probably argue I could have just not said anything to her. But I don't know. She was a spy. Jen said, okay, I wasn't leaving yet. Said night to Jay, but if y'all insist. No, we knew you were saying bye to Jay. We knew it. You said I was your second favorite, Mr. Lee. How rude. Nikki says, not the band Pretenders icon. Sweet dreams. Life says, am I the only one wondering why this dude's name keeps coming up? Well, wondering whose name? Donald says, I think Chris Cat is like the starstruck with that goof. It could be. Like, sometimes, when, especially if your YouTube channel starts to get too big and you start to get, people kind of, latching on. And just, I've seen it 1,000 times on YouTube, man. And, yeah, she's at some point, we're probably going to hear from her like, oh my God, what have I done? I got hooked up with this dude and he's goddamn nuts and he's nothing that he says he is. And, you know, and she's going to be begging for forgiveness. And if she comes here, I'm going to be like, get the fuck out. I don't give a fuck. You were dumb. Get the fuck out. I don't give a fuck. Icon says, Ruthless, all man, I love the pretenders. Ruthless says, proxy chain IP surfing is where IP addresses are stacked and creates almost untraceable connection. It's better than a VPN. Mr. Lee says, Donald, I don't get how girls think sometimes. So one of the greatest mysteries of the universe, Mr. Lee. Mid-South says, Chris Cat thinks he's the shit. At least she's half right. Yeah. He got her entwined in his web, man. Left his wife for her. I guess. That's what it looks like happened. I'm sure he's going to spin it as some other thing that he did, didn't he? Didn't he say, like, you know, him and his wife, you know, they had their differences or whatever? I think he left her for Cat. I bet that's what really happened. Period. Just as simple as that. He can try to spin it whatever he wants, but although his wife is still hanging around, that's the funny thing. What the fuck is that about? Ruthless says, I really wish I got into command line years ago. I'd be a haxer. Quick Witty is here. Welcome. He says, hey, Lock, watch Text Friends Force on the BS remote viewing. Laughed out loud a few times. What are you doing over there, man? Them Text banned me from his channel, man. How dare I ask too many questions? Yeah, but it's a bullshit channel, man. He was telling his Dogman story again the other day. Not buying Dogman stories, man. Just not. Patty Troy says, Chris Cat is a Bigfoot groupie. Ruthless says, infiltrators are gay. Yeah. Jen says, oh, going off from the next town, shiny. Firecrackers going off, yeah. Yeah, they're happening here too. Meredith says, okay, I'm okay. Just sitting here, totally forgot to say hello to everybody. I'm overtired. Great to see y'all. Thanks for coming, Meredith. You don't have to talk if you don't want to. Ruth says douche nozzle. That's funny term of reference. Did I say it? I don't remember saying it. Did I say it? Donald says, quick witty, you're not buying her BS narrative either. Miss House says, yeah, she don't know squatch about the Bigfoot. Chessboard says, hello to Meredith. Mr. Lee says, Lockbeard, my second favorite. Yes. How dare you, Mr. Lee? That's so rude. Jimmy Boy says, don't include Squatch talk after the dark water stuff. And Joe's show's cool. What do you mean, don't include Squatch talk after the dark water stuff? You mean because he wasn't wanting to engage? Yeah. Meredith says, Mr. Lee and everyone, hello. Lockbeard, hello to you. Hello. Nobody can take it serious. Timbo, I do like Joe's show also. It still says, right, Pat is a dick too. Can't stand him. Holy shit, dude. Pat's been getting a lot of hate lately. I guess he hacked y'all off, or a lot of people off. Life is, why does the Vault dude name keep coming up? Well, that isn't Vault of Nightmares. That's Vault Killer, who is someone who is kind of trolling or making fun of Vault. Well, I don't know if they're trying to be a troll or what they're, if they're just They're just sick of Vault shit, and they're just trying to give him hell. But it's as far as I know, it's not Vault. It could be Vault trying to act like he's his own troll. It totally could be that. So because we don't know who it is, right? So whatever. Bat Mom says their relationship is their business. Shouldn't talk about that, guys. Bat Mom is displeased with you people. Quick Witty says apparently the Greys are collecting specimens from a 400-pound diabetic account to that yoga lady. Huh? Oh, you talking about the so I'm trying to decipher this. So the remote viewer says that gray aliens are collecting specimens from a 400-pound diabetic account. According to that yoga lady. Okay, gotcha. So there's a 400-pound diabetic person getting specimens harvested from them by gray aliens, according to a remote viewer over on Texas channel. Sounds legit. Mr. Lee says, I don't like fireworks. Nikki says, I love fireworks. Life says, Bat Mom, I wouldn't give them the free advertising. That's what they want. Ruthless says, Mr. Lee, they took fireworks off us before we gave up broomsticks. Not said a word. Bat Mom says, because Pat is a douche. What the hell? Jen says, there are two different fireworks going on. I can stand in the parking lot and see both without dealing with the crowds. Yeah. At some point, I think a lot of people just get over it. Like, I'm not, whatever. They're just blowing shit up. Ruthless says, Jen, you have great fireworks and they're legal there. What? The great free nation of Australia doesn't allow you to have fireworks? That's just insane. Mr. Lee says, Ruthless good. All fireworks should be banned. They scare animals. I don't think they should be banned. Y'all just want to spoil people's fun. You have sparklers? Man. Tim Boy says Nikki was a mod and Pat doesn't want to engage with Dark Waters after what he said. Friends like that, who need them, in my opinion. Batman says, good Lord, though, Lockbeard, hold on. What? Jen says, shoot them off whenever actually it can be annoying. Circler's okay. Donald says, my neighbor usually puts on a great fireworks show. Must be doing it this year. I mean, I'm all for people doing it. It's just, I don't really participate these days. Batmall says, Jessica, the remote viewer, said that the missing time D and Tex had was a UFO that took Tex. Oh. Well, sounds legit. Ruthless says, if remote viewing was as easy and widespread as Moonbat's claim, this crazy shit couldn't happen in the world. Not saying remote viewing isn't a thing. Yeah. Well, I'm still waiting because, weeks ago, I put a challenge out there for remote viewers. Over here, I said on my console over here, I set an object on top of some envelopes. I was like, remote view that shit. And then also the mind speak people, right? If you can mind speak to me. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for someone to remote view that object. And I'm still waiting for someone to mind speak to me. And it hasn't happened. I hate the word mind speak. You're talking about fucking telepathy. That's what it's actually called. I don't know who the hell started the word mind speak, but Quick Witty says Locke Tex said he had missing time in Oklahoma. The remote viewer yoga lady said he was taken aboard a spacecraft and Craze collected specimens. And I bet he ate that shit up. Because how do you prove her wrong, right? You can't. She could say whatever bullshit she wanted, and all the crazy people are going to just eat that up. If they cut on him, there should be marks somewhere. Can you, lady, yoga lady, remote viewer lady, tell me where these marks would be found? Mr. Lee says, Batmom might find that hard to believe. Rutha says, no, they banned fireworks. Does she believe her? Jessica Jones is full of shit, says Donald. Vaultkeeper is original pedal pocket. Okay, what is that term about? What does he call them? Hot pockets? What the fuck is it? What does he talk about? What does he talk about this hot pocket shit? Because I don't know what the hell, fucking language he speaks. Quick Witty says, Pat thinks he knows everything, but still believes Justin Smeehaw killed a Bigfoot. Not much critical thinking there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm fine. I need something, some kind of piece of evidence to believe Smeehaw's story. I'm not believing it. So, Ruthless says, I'm going to have manouche to eat. It's Lebanese food, breakfast or brunch. Quick Witty says, Lee, it was really funny, honestly. You wish a UFO would take Tex. Donald, I messaged you on Facebook. Says that mom. Wife says, if you use binoculars, is that remote viewing? No. That mom says, I asked her to remote view something for me. She said no. Then on Texas show, she was saying how much she loves remote viewing. Yeah, isn't that interesting? Like when you actually try to get proof, they won't do it. Yeah. I think we pretty much have heard enough. She's full of shit. Donald Fuller says, I think a UFO would have problems with flight if it picked up Tex. Well, he's a substantial human being. Ruthless says, life is a trackway. Technically, yes. So you would say that is remote viewing. Mogs is here. Welcome. He says, what's up, everyone? Quick Witty says, hey, Bones. Miss Al says, I haven't remotely seen her do anything yet. Maybe because I always get in late and mostly go there to fuck with Jason about his fear of spiders. Is that all you fuck with him with? The dude thinks the earth is only 6,000 years old or some shit like that. Never mind the fact, because people, where do they get that number? Nowhere in the fucking Bible does it say that number. It doesn't say it. Nowhere. But because somebody come up with that number, they have latched onto it so hard that they will bend over backwards, reject all kinds of very well established science to deny the earth is billions of years old. Was Tex on Mogs just recently? Yeah, like Thursday night, I think. chipped or something. Uncle Bone says only if you don't ask her to do it. Oh, damn, chat jumped again. Hold on a second. Yeah, Mr. Lee confirms on Thursday he was. I was holding my tongue so hard too. I think I strained myself holding my tongue Thursday night with text on the screen. Yeah, I so wanted to telling that dog man nonsense. But the Bat Mom says she always brings up her Patreon and says she doesn't know anything about LBL and other things. She remote viewed, but supposedly she's been researching for years, yet she never heard of LBL. Yeah, it's sure sounding like she's full of shit. Ruthless says hot round bread. No, that's no, not that Ruthless. Not that. Eddie Fetch says Volt is talking about predators who go after little girls. Okay, are these people that are confirmed? You know, because I don't know. I sure said because he said he was lumping a bunch of people that he was calling hot pockets into like this whole thing with some pedos or something. So it sounds like he's making some unfounded accusations of a bunch of people. And I would suspect, based on the fact that he lies about fucking everything, Eddie, that he's lying about whoever the one person is or whoever it is that he's accusing of this supposed crime. So, whatever, man, whatever. Quick, what he says to me, Hall is a liar. It's been proven multiple times. Yeah, it's hard to believe what he said. Donald says anyone that doesn't believe Vault and gives him shit is a hot pocket. Oh, okay. Well, he said on that live stream 4 days ago that he's lumping up all the hot pockets with pedos and that they're basically all pedos now. So it sounds to me like you go back and watch it. You tell me if this is your interpretation, Donald. He's calling you and me pedos now. Out of just fucking nowhere. Because we challenge his bullshit. Batman says life, Wade, Texas, my friend. Well, yeah, he might be your friend, but he's also full of shit. And he blocked me from my channel, so I'm going to say shit too, or he blocked me from his channel because I asked too many fucking questions. And he has too many bullshit guests on there, and he entertains too much bullshit. And he wants to be able to be isolated from challenge of these bullshit claims. Well, you're not going to find the truth on Texas channel, period. Because he won't allow people to challenge ridiculous claims. And now we're hearing about this remote viewer that he has on, telling him that he was abducted by aliens now. Has she provided proof of it? And then you said you asked her to remote view you and she refused, is because she knew she was going to get locked into something. She was going to get discredited. She knew it. Patty Choice's Hot Pockets, way to say pedo without saying it. So is that what it means, or is that, I mean, I don't know this term. Is this a term that's like been out there that I just haven't run across? Or is this what Vault calls people that he don't like? Saying hello to Mogs, favorite fishing reel. Quick Witty says, she said she eats Taco Bell, then remote views. What the fuck? Moog says, I haven't found my favorite yet. That mom says, I do believe that he really experienced the missing time, but I think there was other people involved that Tex didn't know anything about. Quick Witty says, exactly, Donald. Watch his Tipa TV doc. I'm sorry, but he could barely walk out there. Ruthless says 6,000 years old. Sounds like a florphologist. Might as well be. Might as well be. Mogs, I'm your favorite. Don't try to deny it, says Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee, you need to get up on there and do your job co-hosting with Mogs. Timmy Boy says, most Christians believe that you got to watch them. Believe that. You got to watch them Christians, yeah. And they have no reason, nothing to support that claim. Nothing. It's, there's so many generations. Yeah, but half the book says people lived 900 years old in some cases. So, whatever. Quick Witty says, Mogs, when are you going to release your 168 video? Yeah, somebody needs to do a documentary over how 168 was a bullshit documentary. That's what we need. Right? Was he really? Moog says, who are you? Who is who? Quick Witty? Michelle says, yeah, he also believes the earth is flat. Does he really? Holy shit, dude. That mom says, Moog, you should have Robin McKay on your show. She's really awesome. See, two women sitting on a bench. First woman says to the other, my rear end is asleep. The second woman says, yeah, I know. I hear it snoring. Yeah, I don't know how that happened, Daily Dan. I was trying to shut her down too, but Timmy Boy says, can diabetics have missing time? Yeah. When your blood sugar drops, you could still be walking around and like have no memory, like have spotty memory. And so you think you have missing time, but really what you had was an episode of low blood sugar, and it wasn't bad enough that you passed out or something. That's probably what it is. It's probably just his damn diabetes, and that's it. That's it. He's thinking it's this whole thing. Some shit happened. Daily answers, who is lie in my internet went down for 30 minutes? Oh my god. What? Missed everything. What color says, well, why do you keep saying, you said that earlier, didn't you? I'm not familiar with the term. I'm not sure what it, I guess I need to figure out what this whole, like the Hot Pocket thing, what that is about. Logan says, Timmy, it depends on how long the diabetic coma lasts. Yeah. The Bat Mom says, everything that comes out of his mouth is retarded. Can he help you? Rutha says, Ingo Swan was the first to claim remote viewing, I think. I don't know that he was the first. He might actually, he could actually be legit, but, need more evidence. Brown Springs is right behind a casino. Only thing there are crackheads, says Quickly. Couldn't resist. I'm not sure what. Oh, the diabetic coma thing, yeah. Dude, that's legit though. Someone could have had some missing time just because, like, you're like you'll space out because your blood sugar gets low. Your brain's like, you kind of get checked out. To make a trip to the LBL for that conference, dude, don't do it. You don't want to look. This dude is a special kind of, he talks himself up like, I'm a badass. But what's going to happen is he's going to think he's a badass because he pulls a weapon on you and busts a cap in your ass. And he's going to think that somehow makes him a badass. You can't dodge bullets, right? And this dude might be just that fucking nuts. So, quick wait, he says, put it out, Mogs. Show the real stuff. Team Boy says DW used to call people who disagreed or challenged him hot pockets. I don't know if it's the same with vault. Well, I'm sure that's where he got the term then. If it started with dark sewage, he probably got that term from him. Betmon says, Lockbeard, he didn't say your guy's name, so you can't say that he called you guys that. He said he's lumping all hot pockets, which I was taking to mean he's talking about everyone that's challenging him, right? He was lumping them all with the pedos. So, you know, Mr. Lee says, but Lockbeard, you're a fan of remote viewing, though. I think it's possible. Need more evidence, though. Daily Dan says, I saw that there wasn't supposed to be like entertainment. Nobody takes the remote stuff seriously, did they? Batman says, quick witty. No, there's some shit in Brown Springs. Oh, yeah. I mean, if Sasquatch is real, there's probably some Sasquatch out there. It also sounds like there's a likelihood that a bunch of fucking Tiger King's cats are out there. Shit. I don't ever want to talk about that guy, but Mid-South says, yeah, now there's a chip in Texas body somewhere, and Jessica, new researcher, is a nurse who will extract it. Moog says, I have some nice pin reels for saltwater. So there's some stuff there. My kids picture some crazy things at Brown Springs. Tim Boy says, Mogs, that could explain Texas time incident. Never mind. Should be called 163 or 87. What the fuck? Pin's good. Passed out with diabetes. Yeah, you can pass out. Makes sense. Lockbeard brain fog. Yeah, I mean, he could thought he was missing time, but he was just kind of walking around in the daze. No, but D had a video of the missing time. Yes, Brown Springs has cryptid activity for sure, says Mid-South. Batmon says, Tex really does have missing time. I just think something else was the done to Tex. He could just well, I mean, for one, I don't know that I can believe him. I see no reason why I can believe him, especially if he won't take any he's banning people off the channel who disagree. Like he's not willing to consider the viewpoint. He's not willing to consider that maybe he's mistaken about something. Right? He might say that, but he won't actually engage with people that take that position on the matter. That would say, look, you might have missing time, but it could just be that you took a little diabetic nap. That you were walking around, because you can walk around and be, kind of in a daze and not really remember. And, low blood sugar is a bitch, right? He swears he saw Dogman, but, did he really? Like, how do we know that his identification of what he saw was anything but a wolf or some wolves or something else? Could be something else. Timmy says, quick way, just remember he used to use that term, but it's been a while since I've been listening to Dark Waters. Mr. Lee says, isn't remote viewing like astral projection? My understanding, Mr. Lee, is that there's a difference between the two. Remote viewing is like you're seeing something over there from right here. If you're not going anywhere, that's remote viewing. Astral projection is when you actually leave your body and go somewhere else. And that you don't want to do that if you're interacting with somebody or some aliens that can detect you if you go there, astral projector, but you may be able to remote view them if you're careful. Like there's apparently there's a difference, but more evidence needed. Nikki says he passed my question. Is Tex associated with DW or D? Yeah, Tex and D, I think, were, like pretty close at some point. And I don't know that they've ever truly addressed, the whole issue with, D's questionable behavior. I think Tex was avoiding that, but yeah, he was. D and Tex were pretty tight at some point. Smoke fewer doobies. The LBL story is a hoax, says Quick Witty. Teen Boy says, Batmom, I was diabetic related. It's settled. It was diabetic related. It's settled. Batmom says, Donald, that would be setting yourself up for nonsense. What does that mean? Says Miss South. He's a fanboy of D, says Quick Witty. Batmom says, Nikki, D and Tex was co-host. Mr. Lee says, Icon, see Mr. No, you should keep an even kill all the time. Daily Dan says, yeah, you there a incredible gifted remote viewer when you can remote view events that never happened. Oh my God. Yeah. And who's going to challenge her? You could say, oh, she's making that shit up, but how do you, But again, she's the one making the claim. Burden of proof's on her. So, lady, prove you're telling the truth. Tex was D's research partner for years, says Batmom. Uncle Bone says, the Batmom, could it be Tex was traumatized somehow, seeing a Bigfoot, like some trauma victims don't remember the event? Maybe. Tex was involved with D a long time ago. Quick Witty, you are full of crap, yo, says Batmom. He loves DW. Nikki says, Tammy boy. Quick Witty says, Batmom, sorry, been to the casino in the area. Ain't nothing there but criminal activity. Well, there could be both. There could be Sasquatch and criminal activity, but no dog man. There's no dog man there. Daily Dan says, I like Tex a lot. He looks like Charlie Daniels. Batman says, Tex doesn't Timmy boy shoot. You guys are saying nonsense. What the fuck? Mid-South says, yeah, on the BDRP. What? I guess you're referring back to something. Moke says, I've been there, Quick Witty, and had no issues. It was the middle of winter, though. Vault Killer says he owns, or she owns, Vault Keeper. Okay. Well, somebody needs to keep him on a leash. But Quick Witty says, Tex says he had multiple Dogman encounters, but only heard them through the bushes and didn't stick around, according to him. Yeah, so how does he know it was Dogman, right? Could have been just a fucking dog or a wolf. Fanboy says, you need to watch her first episodes about Mom. Get it from his first episodes. Get it from his own mouth. Mr. Lee says, well, Killer, you're getting on my nerves now. Is he? Or she? It? Batman says, I know Tex in person, not just on YouTube. Went to dinner with his wife. I vouch for Tex. Well, yeah, but, sometimes people know a person for years and think they know them, and then they find out they don't. You know what I mean? Like, you have to admit that you could be mistaken about Tex. Like, what actual evidence that he saw Dogman? Is there any actual evidence? Can we prove that that's what he saw? Because there is dick for evidence or any kind of reasonable it's a ridiculous claim. It's not just improbable; it's completely ridiculous. And with the science that we know and the type of animals that we know, unless you're going to buy into all this crap about the government combined the DNA and bred these things and all that kind of crazy ass shit, which again has no goddamn evidence. I think Tex is either fucking lying or he's mistaken about what he saw. Almost 99% certainty. Because in science you can't say 100%, but it's really 100%. So he needs to come up with some goddamn proof of some dog man, because I'm not going to stop saying he's full of shit or he's mistaken. It's one of those two. But when someone blocks you, that pretty much seals the deal on them, right? It shows that they're afraid to face the facts. They want to shut people up or block people out that will question and make them have to maybe admit that they were mistaken. And maybe his pride won't let him do it. I don't know. But his story is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Until someone can provide some kind of solid proof that these things exist and then somehow explain how they exist in the context of the known animal life, the known fossil record, and so on. Good luck with that, because it's not going to happen. I guarantee it's not going to happen. He was mistaken or he was lying. So, sorry. That's just the way it is. Tex didn't help things that he blocked people. So, if you're legit, you don't need to block people, right? If you're legit, you don't need to block people. You want people questioning. You want to be able to prove to him. He pushes people out. Spells bullshit. Quick Witty says, Mogs, I've been there multiple times. Ask local people. They just look at you crazy. Yeah. Manouche. That one says, Quick Witty, do you want to see some photos my boys took at Brown Springs? What does it have to do with it? It says Quick Witty. Most definitely would do. Donald Batman, can you send me the pics through the DMs? Then you're vouching for the people on his show. Who is? Batmom. Moke says Carrie was tight with Doss too. Yeah. You make all these connections and you start seeing where the bullshit web is at. So you got the bullshit web over there. And it's unfortunate because you got people they like a particular person, or they, in this case, Batmom knows Tex personally, I guess, and doesn't want to admit that he is part of the bullshit web. He is definitely part of the bullshit web. He's part of it. He's connected to this person, that person's, that whole thing is definite, 100%. It may hurt to admit it, but it's just the reality here. Still is, I bet. Moog says even got him a job in the oil fields. We know how that worked out. Icon says, Mr. Lee, my keel tend to drag through the water from time to time. Team Boy says, still is Mogs. It's just not public. Like him and Dark Waters. Yeah. Mid-South says, some of you need to watch what you're saying about people you know nothing about and shows you know nothing about. Icon says, Mogs. Carrie and DW are partners now, says Patty. Quick Witty says, really, Mogs, how did it work out? Donald says, all Jessica Jones had to do was remote view my experience, but it would take too much out of her. Likely excuse. Batmon says, Donald, yes. Tammy Boy says, how you think, Quick Witty? Chessboard says, Miss South, so true. was told in 65. If you can't say something good, don't say anything at all. Bear says, is this channel just people talking trash about other shows? Yeah, I don't know who you are. You're not giving us your real name, but you come in my chat saying that, all you're going to get, is attacked. There's some people out there spreading bullshit. There's some evil shit going on. There's people making threats. There's people lying. There's people scamming. There's people stealing. All kinds of shit. We can and we will fucking talk about it, Bear. And if you don't like it, you can get the fuck out of here. Capiche? Because I don't give a fuck that you have a problem with it. You can say what the fuck you want. I don't give a fuck. I don't like these fuckers. And they're muddy in the water. We're trying to find the truth about some shit. And then we got these douchebags over here threatening to kill people, for fuck's sake, in some cases. And making other kind of bullshit accusations. Not well. We would be able to speak. Timbo says, after a year in jail, I don't imagine they welcomed him back with open arms. And I'm sure it looked great on Carrie. Quick Witty. Quick Witty says, everything Yoga Lady remote views is paranormal. Apparently, no normal explanations. Of course not. Bear equals Vault groupie. Yeah, just another Vault groupie. Go back and tell Vault. Stop being a fucking douche nozzle. Stop trying to fucking intimidate people. Chessboard says, Tim Boy, I'm like Socrates, quote, only thing I know that I know nothing. Batmom says, Tex saw an actual thing when he was 16. He says it was Dogman. The other experiences, he says he didn't see anything but was chased. Again, that's his claim. He claims he saw something that he's calling a Dogman. He is freaking mistaken. He's mistaken. There's no fucking Dogman. No one has been able to provide any goddamn proof of this. They're going out there and they're seeing something, getting spooked or whatever, and misidentifying something, and some of them are just flat out freaking lying. The fact that Tex blocked me makes me lean towards liar. You don't block people unless you have something to fucking hide. Because all the fucking liars, they block me. So you go tell Tex. Tell Tex, don't block people like a liar. Face criticism, for your claims. Or stop making your damn claims. I don't know. I mean, you can make your claims you want. But if you can't face criticism and people challenging it, saying, look, what freaking evidence do you have that this Dogman thing exists? Because we can't. There's the scientific world has nothing that would indicate that something like a Dogman would even exist. There's no preliminary species fossils that would lead to something like that. There's no reason to think that this thing could possibly exist based on the existing animal life and existing fossil record. It's not there. It's not fucking there. These people are just watching too many damn werewolf movies, man, and mistaking something else in the woods. So what he should say is, I don't know what I saw. But and then he needs to fucking publicly denounce D. He needs to fucking publicly denounce D. Timmy Boy says, no wonder people don't feel welcome, Donald Fuller. I'm no groupie. Well, then what are you? Timmy Boy says, I like Patrick Vaughn. Quote, I have a theory. Shit. Yeah, Patrick Vaughn blocked me. Why? I didn't hardly say anything about him. I didn't hardly say anything. I just wasn't going hard and heavy on Patrick Vaughn, but he blocked me. So, bullshit artist. Again, another fucking liar. You don't have to block me if you're not lying. There's no reason to. It don't make any sense to. if you're telling the truth, you don't, you should want to try and convince me, because you need me to become convinced that you're telling the truth, so that I can tell other people. It's like, look, I think this guy's telling the truth, and this is why. This is the evidence why. He shut it all down and blocked me. Why? Full of shit. That's why. Mid-South says, Tammy Boy, I've been to jail more than once and have battled more downfalls than you'll ever experience, but have come back stronger than ever and have been welcomed back. People make mistakes. Batman says, Mogs is right. Carrie got D a job in the oil field, but when Carrie found out that D was selling drugs at work, Carrie stopped defending D and took the shows with him off his page. Need to call out the hoaxers, says Quickwitty. Vault Killer says, Bear is Vault Keeper's groupie, believes his lies. Patty says, right on Mogs. Batman says, Mark, he was in prison, not jail. Lockbeard's hemorrhoid says, well, you talk a lot of shit. I know a lot have been giving the mic to say what you want, but y'all are cowards. Well, I mean, I'm here openly saying what I want to say on my channel about people out there lying and full of shit and stealing and making physical threats towards people. I have a right to say these things. You, on the other hand, are using a false name. You're not showing your face. You want to talk about cowards? Look in the mirror, son. Mr. Lee says, oh, and you can fuck off, by the way. Mr. Lee says, Vault Keeper James, are you watching? Batman says, Mark, he went to jail for domestic abuse with his ex-wife. He went to prison for his ex-fiance, and he never seen jail for the abuse he did to me or drugging my daughter. Timmy Boy says, Mid-South, I'm with you. I've been in and out a few times, but if you beat a woman in front of children, then you get no second chance from me. Dark Woods. Oh, we got another troll. Lockbeard, you getting paid to tell misinformation on your channel? What misinformation have I told? What misinformation? Am I mistaken about something? Because you can, try telling that. But who would be paying me? Like, why would anyone pay me? My piddly ass little channel. I mean, seriously, it's damn. I wish I was getting paid. Is there somebody? Am I missing out on some fucking money? Vault Killer says he is watching Mr. Lee. He doesn't have a job. He lives off cat. Well, I don't know that that's true, but that's what Vault Killer says. Batmon says Dark Woods. Nope, some of the people in chat are, though. Miss House says, Batmon, okay, not saying he was right in his actions. I was saying just because a person falls doesn't mean you have to kick them when they're down. Lurking, yeah. Yep, here they come. Here they come. When you're still lying and doing the same crap, then there's no forgiveness. Darkwoods, how are you? People on Facebook, when you sounded like a pedo, Lockbeard. You mean how people on Facebook, when you... What the fuck are you? Fucking psycho. Yeah, that's got to be Vault, man. That's got to be Vault. He was calling everybody was a pedo on his live stream 4 nights ago. Like, he said he's lumping everybody into it. Anyone disagrees with him, he's lumping into that category for some fucked up reason. Timmy Boy says, I love this. Hey, Dark Woods, you're new here, right? Mr. Lee says, Lockbeard, do you remember when you put your PayPal account on Bigfoot Aussie chat? Oh, man, that was hilarious. Dark Woods has always been cool in chats. Mid-South says, Batmom agree, I don't interact or talk to him anymore. Quick Witty says, I might believe on the story at text, but apparently he's been abducted by Gray, seen Dogman, Bigfoot, Little People, and whatever else. And he hangs out apparently with a flat earther who doesn't believe the earth is older than 6,000 years. So funny as hell. Darkwoods, I know someone else who used to say doing grand. So who would that be? Tex didn't say he was abducted. Jessica did. Patty didn't see that. Darkwood says, I'm a troll. Funny, just an honest question. What he says, Batmom, why didn't he correct her? Patty Troy says, I like Lockbeard ever since that day. Yeah, it was a long time ago. Batmom says, Darkwoods, why question did you ask? What question did you ask? Shermote Vim, doesn't know what happened since it was missing time. Okabun says, Batmom Lockbeard and most in chat were behind you when that happened. Tim Boy says, quick witty, he said he was missing time, then had a remote viewer on his show that told him it was aliens, totally different. Patro says, Mr. Lee Lockbeard always makes the chat fun. Well, thank you. Darkwood says, about if he is telling misinformation. I don't know misinformation. Who is she? Oops. Skip. I guess I somehow skipped some. There we go. Lockbeard. Cannot see Lockbeard's hemorrhoid in chat. Can anyone else? Well, it's a fucking dummy account somebody's got. Probably Volt or one of his cronies. No, it's not Volt. Nope, not Volt, but I was seeing where you were showed how much of a pedal you really are. Whatever, dude. Darkwed's auto-correct. Batmon says, Uncle Bone's been working all day, kind of slow. Cookie says, I don't believe the missing timing thing at all. Sorry, too many coincidences. Darkwood says, Vault was here. He would not use a fake profile. Batmon says, I'm missing out on the rumors. Can't keep up, guys. Yeah, you have hemorrhoids, Mr. Lee. Batmon says, we know. Quick Witty already figured out it was a diabetic episode. That's not true, bro. Mark Thomas says, Lockbeard's hemorrhoid certainly is living up to his name. What a pain in the ass. Mid-South says, Timmy Boy, I understand I hate man that abuses women and is the reason I don't speak or have anything to do with him. Quick Witty says, yeah, I think you're right, Timmy. He was carrying a huge Sonic cup on documentary. He said they were camping. Good day, Mark. How do we know it at least is plausible, says Timmy Boy. Well, yeah, it's not even remotely plausible. That's the thing. Dogman in general is just not remotely plausible. Batman said, Donald, I forgot to push send. Trying to find the other ones. Uncle Bone says, the Batmom, you are loved and cared for. Remember that. Son of a bitch, we're at 3:41. Tim Boy says, anything can happen. Bloody late again, says Mark. Yeah, I'm getting ready to shut it. We can't be going to 4 hours on this. Take your time. I can only have one window open or I will buffer. They only call it Dogman because Wolfman is trademarked. All right, let's wrap her up. We're going way over time. Way over time.
Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because subscribing makes you feel good.
Mid's house says, and I know Batmom for quite a while. I stand behind her on whatever. Peace all. See you later, Mogs. Thanks for coming. Mr. Lee says, maybe it was Sasquatch with wolf skin on Dogman suit. It could be, Mr. Lee. All right, y'all. Thanks for coming. See you later.